Okay.
Yep, there we go. Okay, got it.
Cool.
Okay. There we go.
What's up, guys?
Hey, how's it been? How's your hope you all had a good holiday season?
I did.
Yep, mine was pretty good.
As was
Yeah, it was
mine.
alright.
That's good.
Yep, went to New York for just a couple days over New Year's. Went to the Trip NYC flagship store and managed to score, because I didn't know they made Trip pants that were like fit like joggers, and
Oh my god.
they were they were so comfy. I just had to get them. So, yeah. Though I also realized just this afternoon that I never uploaded session 3 to YouTube. So, yeah, but hopefully you guys remember some of what happened. I do, more or less, sort of.
I know we ended on a cliffhanger, sorta.
Yeah, you guys found a ship.
I am actually completely lost. I can barely remember
Yeah,
much
all
of
I
that
remember
session.
was we solved a murder mystery.
I remember more of the session before that than I do last session for some reason.
Yeah,
It's coming back a
so
little bit.
yeah, you guys solved the mystery. You guys the Parks kind of made it out, but you guys got the jewels.
Yep.
And the Gorhams are the ones who were going to resettle. So, hunky dory. I forget if you guys went to the kind of returned to the mothership, or if you were planning on doing that to try and get some new supplies or anything like that. But you guys also found out some interesting tidbits. You found out that there had been a group sent out to. Let me see which ones, because you should also notice that your handout for colony status reports has been updated. So,
Ditch and water.
yep. Note that the original text has been crossed out because Dillon City has been obliterated.
Yep.
But yeah, you guys found out that I forget if I told you, but I'm going to tell you that Gaius circled July and Capelli because they've sent small skeleton kind of exploratory crews out there to those two colonies, and never heard back from either of them, which is odd. So, after you guys are finished with this seemingly derelict ship that you have found, it seems to be a scout ship. It's lost its air and power, the side door's been blown off, and it's kind of slowly rolling.
Before we get into the meat of things, is...
Yeah, also you guys have XP and whatnot that if you want to spend it, you can.
I was actually...
Yep.
That's exactly what I was going to ask about. Thank you.
Yeah.
I just thought we would have figured out what's going on with that ship before we
Either or.
do our experience.
Yeah, either or, whatever you guys think feels better. But
Well, if you want to take a couple of minutes to figure out XP stuff, because I need to take my dogs out because they're asking consistently.
yeah,
Of course,
so
they didn't start asking until after I got on.
Mhm.
So,
Yep. ain't that always how
Sometimes
it is?
they be like that.
yep. So I'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Okay, let me.
And I do apologize. I should have just spit it out whenever I was going to ask a question.
Oh yeah, no worries.
But Cheese, you actually... I believe you are the one that actually said what I was supposed to say. So I believe you should go first.
I was just saying that I thought in order to use experience, like we had to take time to learn a
yes.
skill, and I don't know if we would do that with,
I would
you know,
kind
a
of.
derelict ship floating.
Yeah, I would say maybe in the time that you, because like you guys are kind of traveling around, and so this is something that you would have found kind of. Because did you guys travel back to the to like kind of your great mothership back to like try and get supplies or anything?
I don't think we did.
Okay.
No, we didn't yet.
Well, then I'll say that you guys,
We
at the
did
very least, can
before.
decide what you want to spend XP on, and then we can go for, and then we can actually kind of make rolls and add it when you guys have gotten back from, whatever you decide to do with that. You have a feeling that your contract would, just like your mission contract, you have a feeling if you just left this thing kind of floating out and you saw it and you didn't do anything, you have a feeling that Gaius and the kind of mission leadership would not be very happy.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a running theme in alien stuff that way you contracts is you look at the ship, it's part of your contract, or you get fired, essentially.
Yeah,
Out
you
of an
forfeit.
airlock half the time, but
Yeah, like in the original Alien, if they hadn't
yeah, exactly.
been basically diverted and accepted that diversion to LV-426, they would have forfeited all shares, basically meaning that they wouldn't get paid for the entire kind of haul
You get fired out of a cannon into the sun.
Yeah.
A classic.
Then in that case, I'm going to plan out that I will put a point into stamina and a point into mobility. It's 5 XP per stat increase, right? Or
Yep.
skill? Because you can't increase stats.
Yeah, you can't increase core attributes, but you can increase skills, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go with.
Okay. Yeah, so you can, just note those down, and then we'll add those after.
Cool, because I was capped out on XP.
Oh, yeah. It's easy to cap out on XP, because it's pretty easy to get XP in this game, which is important because it means that if you kind of, you die and you have a new character, it's not too difficult to kind of catch up in terms of, like, stats, and, like, kind of leveling up, so to speak.
That works.
Okay,
I think
I am back.
Marty will do close combat and mobility.
Okay. So, FICO, we agreed that because you guys haven't taken time, what we're going to do is we're going to have everybody kind of have an idea of what they want to do, and then after you guys kind of return from doing whatever to the on the derelict ship you found, then we'll actually kind of do it. Like, we'll actually make those additions.
Okay. Cool, because I'm gonna put my points into range combat and get the prospecting talent.
Okay.
I don't remember the name of that talent. I gotta go look that up.
Okay.
I was on the page. I was literally on the page for it. Right. Prospecting. Oh, also, question. Since we returned to our ship, can we reset our air supplies?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And then I think I was gonna do a point in range combat, and I want to see if I can pick up the fast reflexes
Okay.
talent.
So, yeah, that'll be a wits roll once once we get to it.
Kind of figured our what is she, Third World Empire?
Yeah, she does not have fast reflexes. That talent. I'll tell you what talent she does have. Give me just.
I meant she could train me in range combat.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, she has the past the limit talent.
What does that one do anyway?
It allows you to push any strength-based roll twice, rather than just once. Meanwhile, while you guys are on here, you guys have heard tales, or kind of rumors of a lot of unrest aboard the kind of big mothership whose name I can't pronounce because it's got so many freaking accented letters. But basically, you guys have been hearing about the UA contingent skirmishing with UPP loyalists. There's not been any fighting yet, but it's a powder keg, and you can tell the people. And you guys know that people are playing with fire. You guys know about the kind of notorious frontier war, and you guys already saw at the very beginning of your kind of arrival in the far Spinmer colonies that tensions were already high. But now you're noticing some of those tensions are spreading to your own ship.
The UPP piston eliminate machine.
Specifically, you note that Lakota Monroe, you were kind of negotiator slash kind of officer, she seems to be provoking the roughneck Devor Klobens, who you know is UPP affiliated, and yeah, she's kind of like. Just basically just goading him repeatedly. And it's not pleasant. You don't get a good feeling that good things are going to happen as a result of this. I'll just say that. If you guys want to step in, you can. If you want to watch and see where it goes, you also can do that. Just let me know. Either way.
think Marty will probably tell him to knock it off.
Tell one or both?
I guess it depends. Do we see who started it?
Oh yeah, you see that Lakota is doing kind of the baiting, but Clobins is definitely rising to it. Like, she's just calling him kind of a cog in a big inefficient communist machine. He's calling her a, capitalist pig. But Lakota seems to be the one starting with the taunting and the kind of baiting. But
Yeah, I'd probably tell Lakota then to knock it off and leave him alone.
okay, make me
Cog in the...
a command or a manipulation.
You're a cog in the machine, says the syndicalist.
Yeah. Do you want to try and push that?
I might as well.
Fair. Okay, there you go. I'm gonna say she backs off, at least for now. And Clobins is gonna just say, "Oh, thank God, you got her to shut up," and just kind of walks away and starts kind of, doing his own thing, checking, inspecting, and all that.
Before he walks away, Amos is gonna go over to him. I don't mind her. It's not her fault that she's got a tiny dick.
Does she hear this, or you know what?
No.
After he's left the room, you mean?
After she's left the room.
Okay. I like that. You see, like, in the corner of your vision, like, on the top right, like, in the corner of your vision, you see just this little white text appear that says, "Clobins will remember that." He laughs and says, "You're all right.
Well,
You're all right, Amos."
I'm glad someone here is.
Yeah. So, you seem to have stepped up a little bit. Meanwhile, on the intercom, you guys hear your captain's voice. "Well, if we're all done moseying around, the fuck are we gonna do about this hunk of junk?"
All right, sounds like we gotta suit up.
Okay, so everybody, you're gonna want to take, space shoots, something that'll protect you against vacuum. You know that. So if you don't have one, I'm gonna say that you have the IRC mark, which I'm trying to remember which mark it is. That is kind of the
50 compression suit.
Yeah, the kind of I'm trying to remember which one is the kind of default, like the non-military. Or I guess I can just say that you guys have the. Let's see.
We've got plastic bags and duct tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say you guys have.
I'm assuming what needs to be fixed is a tad more than a software patch.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that you guys have, because you're gonna have the Presidium Mark 8 advanced SE suits. Although one of you has the Eco 2. Actually, you know what? I'll give you guys all the Eco 2s just because it's simple. It's armor rating 8, air supply 6.
That's an upgrade.
Yeah, I will double check in the old. Actually, let me see. I don't know that you got, because those are pretty expensive pieces of equipment, and though they tell you that state of the art, it's
Because
only.
I only have the Eco, and that was part of the Wildcatter kit.
Oh
Is
yeah,
having one of those.
yeah. So then, yeah, I'm gonna say that. Okay, let's see. Suit and armor. Yeah, the IRC Mark 50 compression suit. It is armor rating 2, air supply 5, weight 1. All agility-based rolls are at a -1. So you guys are going to want to put that that info in your.
You said the Mark 50, right?
Yep, the IRC Mark 50. And that'll be, armor rating 2, air supply 5, weight 1, and then -1 to all agility-based rolls while you're.
Man, I wish I could add like multiple armors.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you could stack armor on top of each other, though, it would end up becoming a lot easier to.
Survive.
Yep, survive, and also it would take a lot of the horror out because.
Well, I mean, if you're in a vacuum environment and you get pierced, you're going to turn into a jet stream of red mist.
Yep, and they actually, I don't know that they had rules specifically for like breaks in. I don't think they did in the core rulebook, but now they do. They have. They have. They have rules for compression suit breaches, so look forward to that.
Yay.
Yep, you guys
I
might
just
also.
meant so I don't have to like.
Page 107 for rules on that.
Yep, you guys might also want to take some sort of light source, like a high beam shoulder lamp or just like a flashlight or something, because there does not seem to be a lot of. The lights don't seem to be on. It seems like whatever happened. There might be power, but whatever, like. It seems like anything like that would have to be kind of rebooted.
The fact that the lore little fluff text here says that the smart gun actually has a safety mechanism to where it won't fire at an enemy standing on a friendly IFF ship as to not pierce the outer armor.
Oh yeah.
So that immediately made me think melee weapons in science fiction.
Yep. Though that's only like military, like Colonial Marine or like SOF from the UPP or like Royal Recon weapons, but like.
Oh yeah, literally the next line is civilian weapons aren't quite so clever.
Yeah, so if you fire that 44 Magnum, it's not going to tell you no.
Yes, and I will keep it that way. So.
But I mean, the ship's hull, at least the one you're looking at, is already breached, so it's mainly going to be at least like you're going to be able to go in through the breach. But
there's high beam flashlight we could take.
Yeah.
I mean, my gun can be used as a flashlight.
Yep, you can use that. Whatever you guys want to do.
But also, I think the Evo suit has flashlights on it.
Yeah, the Eco suit does have a built-in high beam shoulder lamp.
Yep.
What's the air supply on this?
On the Mark 50, it's 5.
Do we all technically have short-range comms?
Yes.
Yes, while you've got
Okay.
the suits on, especially, because,
Actually, the suit does not say in the comment that it has comms.
yeah, which is weird,
That's
because it
only
definitely
for the
does.
M3.
It
The
definitely
sturdy
does.
helmet has a comm unit and a heads-up display. For
Oh,
the
it
Mark
does?
50. Yep.
Yeah, it must not say in, like, the summary, or, like,
It
kind
It
of...
doesn't
doesn't
say it
say
in
in
the
the summary,
summary.
but it does say in the text of it.
Yeah.
Wireless
So,
helmet cam as well.
okay. Yeah, so you guys can kind of record, so, like, if any of you are... You can basically live stream to the rest of your crew, especially if someone has the, what's it called? The piece... I'm trying to remember the name of the equipment. It's the kind of sneaks in,
The PDAT.
yeah, the PDAT. Like, if someone has that, like, you'll be able to look at,
Yeah.
you'll be able to pull up, like, all the, like, kind of live feeds simultaneously, along with, like, vital signs and everything. Okay.
Are we able to stream to Twitch?
Space Twitch, but it's on an... I'm gonna say, let's see, your guys are 38 parsecs. What's that in light years? That's like... So, it'll stream, but it won't be live. It'll be, like, 60 years after you've streamed that people will get the notification on their space phones.
Hey, whatever it takes to stop stream sniping.
There we go. Everybody wins. So, you guys ready?
Yep.
That should be.
Yep.
Okay. So, let me... So the... Let's see. So the side door, which you will see on the bottom, because it's got two decks. The side door, the main deck, the hangar door, has been blown off, and it's kind of open into space. I'm going to say, yeah, you guys can kind of place yourselves there.
While we're here, do I need to make an observation roll to sort of get a general idea of what it looks like?
I can give you some idea. It looks like something bad has happened. It looks like the ship has been attacked, but not by anything you recognize.
Now, you say attacked. You said that the hangar door was open to the out.
Yeah, it was
Or was
ripped
damaged
off.
to the out.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
blown off. So it appears that there's been something. This is probably some sort of void combat. But what's really interesting to you is that the model of ship does not match anything that really should be out here. It's very clearly a scouting vessel, an advanced scouting vessel that's built by the UPP, but as far as you know, that the Great Mother mission does not have this type of ship, this class of ship, in its flotilla. And since it's UPP, and the UPP formed after the isolation, it couldn't have been here all along. So there's something sus about that alone.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, this makes no sense. I'm about to say space whales. My character says.
Yep. You also notice the ship doesn't quite look entirely kind of metallic, if that makes sense. Like, it looks... I'm just gonna delete that. See if that... Damn, it'll... Oh, whatever. Like, there
Seems like
seems...
the Queen of Hearts has forces in this area.
seems like
Sorry,
there's...
sorry. You're
No,
saying.
that's okay. I love that. Basically, it seems like this vessel is sort of changing very slowly, but it just doesn't quite feel right. Like, you know, you've been on a lot of ships, like a lot of different models of ship, and this just kind of feels odd. Like, not in no way of like any other ship you've been on. It just feels wrong. And I'm gonna say all of you pick up on this. So you all get 1 stress level.
The floors feel squishy.
Something weird about this UPP stuff, huh?
Yeah.
So, where do you guys want to go? Where are you going first?
Would you say it seems more organic than machine inside or something like that, or
Not fully, but it almost seems like it's just barely like that's what you would say is sort of maybe causing some of that unease, but it's very, very subtle. It doesn't seem to be like, you're not feeling like it's breathing or like, feeling like pulsing underneath your feet, that sort of thing. But just something feels like the ship is coming to life and not in, oh, the power's come back on way.
Was there any sort of biosensor equipment, movement detectors we could have shot at this thing while we were still on the ship?
You guys would not have had that, on your...
I have a motion tracker.
Yeah, can you break that out, please?
You are not seeing anything moving. But,
Do I need to make a power supply roll?
I'm gonna say no because you don't see anything moving. Just...
Okay.
Well, it doesn't look like there's anything moving right now.
Yeah, so, where do you guys want to go?
I'd say let's head to the bridge, see if
Okay.
there's any info on what's going on with this ship.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Yep.
So, go on. Move yourselves into the bridge.
I'm gonna have my shotgun at the ready.
Okay. When you get to the bridge, you notice that it's been utterly destroyed. You would guess by a demolition charge. And you don't really see corpses so much as, like, think like ash that's been, like, kind of blasted around, and, like, whoever was here was probably almost instantaneously vaporized. So you can see kind of the way that the dust kind of blasted out. Like, you can tell where the people were based on the areas where the dust hasn't settled, if that makes sense.
Well, I hope you like the crew extra crispy.
Yeah. And so, yeah, this seems like it was set off based on where the source of the explosion was. Which one of you do you think would have the most kind of knowledge of explosives?
I bet our prospector would.
Yeah, 'cause-
I'd go with him.
Yes, Amos would.
Yep, you've seen kind of demolition charges like this. It seems like it was a deliberate job. Like, it was, someone was trying to keep something. Whatever they thought death was a preferable alternative to letting whoever attacked them get access to whatever was on the bridge. So, Someone can make me a Comtech roll if you want to try and retrieve just some snippets of information in just the vestiges of what little in the way of systems are still kind of left.
Yeah, I'll see if I can desolder some of the ROMs or some of the memory. Dump the
Okay.
ROMs.
Okay. Okay. Yep. So you find that before the explosion destroyed the bridge, the nav data was deliberately wiped. And just like you saw on the ship on Gorham Colony, where you looked at the the landside ship and it had the navigation data wiped. You're seeing that here, but you're also seeing a reference to something that is that you're not familiar with. It just says something about the rest of it is garbled, but it says the Great Mother Mission Space Operating Forces Contingent. The Space Operating Forces, are basically the UPP's equivalent to the Colonial Marines or the Royal Marines of the Three World Empire. This is not a group that you're familiar with. And as far as you know, the UPP shouldn't have their own dedicated. Well, they shouldn't even have this advanced scouting vessel out here, nor should, let alone, a contingent of SOFs assigned with the Great Mother mission.
Maybe UPP's trying to get in on the action here.
It's
Or maybe
something.
they jumped the gun.
Yep, it's something you might
Try to get here before us.
Might be something worth investigating. You might be able to find out more if you want to jot it down for. So, yeah, you guys now have kind of free reign for the rest of the ship if you want to look around. Who knows? There might be some useful stuff in
Anything
there.
useful in the armory?
Yep. Go ahead.
I'm gonna make my way down to the engineering, see how that's going.
Okay. So, in the armory, you find modern UPP weapons and equipment, including a whole stock of AK-40-47 rifles and 6B90 combat armor. Enough to equip probably 20 people. 6B90 combat armor is the equivalent of the N3 personnel armor used by the Colonial Marines in terms of like stats and everything. Now, Dreamer, you said you're going towards engineering?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can get into tactical.
Is there anything in tactical of note?
Yes.
Yes, there is.
It is a fleshy pod that seems to be sending out little tendrils into the metal kind of grating of the ship itself. It's pulsating. And those tendrils seem to be interweaving with the hull and the machinery of the ship.
Yeah, I'm just gonna comms out. Ship's alive.
Yeah, and you take +1 stress.
What do you mean, Victor? What'd you see?
I mean, the ship is alive. There's this living thing in tactical. It's interweaving itself into the mesh of the ship. It's growing.
Gross.
I'm going to renege on going into engineering, and I'm just going to try and back off of it. Because it
Okay.
seems to be kind of in the way, and I don't want to get hit by it, if it's a thing.
Well,
Yeah, and
I've got a solution for it.
yeah, Cheese, if you're going in there, you also take +1 stress because you've never seen anything like this. And you've seen a lot of scary shit. Like, you've seen all sorts of alien beasts, but
Yeah, I
this is
figured
something
I would
else.
join him and look at it with my own eyes, so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is one of those things, like, people joke about, like, spiders kill it with fire. This is something you're like, no, spiders aren't scary. This is something that I'd be like, I see it in my house, I'm burning the house down.
Yes. Actually, if I may ask, with that Comtech roll, would I be able to hardwire some of the engines to go into retrograde and toss the thing into the sun?
Unfortunately,
I mean,
you'd have to,
I've
like,
got a solution for it.
yeah, you'd have to restart the reactor, because there just is not enough power. You're basically just getting the little last vestiges of power on this thing.
Oh, I ain't talking about power and such to engineering. We can deal with that in a sec. I was talking about whether or not there were enough control surfaces or wiring, or if it was just such a jumbled mess of ash and dust that we'd have to tow it.
You'd basically have to tow it.
Have to tow it? Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. And you have a feeling that might violate quarantine.
Yes.
I mean, Amos got a solution.
Yeah, and you might want to Vox, or, send comms to your ship to keep distance.
And I will do that. Also, yes, please, solutions, please. I very much would like to hear those.
What? The solution is boom boom.
Yes.
Okay.
Just don't get any of it on our ship, so...
Well, I mean, you can radio... We could probably set these as remote.
Nah. I don't trust it. How much are we going to be dealing with biological Kessler syndrome? I mean, this place is our... Is this room hard vacuum?
All of this ship is hard vacuum.
Yeah,
right
then
now.
this thing already can exist in... This thing can already exist in hard vacuum. Just blowing it up is going to mean that it's going to hit somewhere else. So, explosives, less so. If you have fire, that would be nice. Acid?
Well, you guys can shoot it and
know.
find out.
I still feel that the explosion would be the best idea.
Yeah.
I think
You got one of those things that caused everything to burn to ash in the bridge?
Don't you have demolition
I
charges?
mean, I do have a
Destroying
blasting charge.
Yeah, that would do the same thing.
Alright.
Yep. But let me check and see if they got any good suits first.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
you
have,
should do that.
The EVA suits.
They don't really have anything other than the UPP equivalent of the IRC, IRC 35. But pretty much all of it seems to have been mostly destroyed. The best suits they have are not spacesuits, but they're the equivalent of M3 personnel armor. They're the 6B90 combat armor used by the UPP. It is the same stats as M3 personnel armor. Armor rating 6, and built-in comm unit.
So now, you are aware he was... I do believe he was specifically checking out the EVA suits room.
Yeah. There is not really anything in there right now, as far as you can... Maybe I'll give you, like, one UPP, one of those... I'm trying to remember the name of the type of... it's the... Let me see. I forget if it's in the... if they even have it in this particular book. Let's see. Here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the CC... the triple C4 Cosmocorp compression suit. It's armor rating 1, air supply 5, weight 2, observation -1, and mobility -1.
Not better than what I have. All right.
No.
Can you put the stats for the UPP armor in the chat?
Yeah.
Is there like any chance of contamination on the equipment?
You can check. Doesn't one of you guys have a CBRN?
I think I do.
Yep. You can check any equipment.
I'll comms Victor. Hey Victor, need you to check out some of this stuff to see if there's any contamination before we take it.
Yeah, sure. I'm glad you got that stinking room. Want to be far away from whatever explodes in there. I don't want it to get on me.
Yep.
I don't trust this suit.
Yep. You're seeing no signs of contamination. It seems like whatever this thing is, it's in very early stages of kind of infection. It hasn't gone through the whole ship yet. It's mainly going through it's mainly just kind of starting through tactical. But yeah, you also notice a crate full of AK-47s. Like, this was a military scouting operation. And these weapons would not have been around pre-isolation. These are modern UPP weapons. So there's something fishy going on here.
Yeah, everything's here clean. Everything here is clean.
Yep.
Should probably get those AKs, bring them back, write down the serial numbers, see if we can track it down that way.
Assuming the UPP would even have that information available.
Yeah, you got a point. They probably wouldn't even give it to us anyhow.
Well,
What?
I mean, it'd still be nice for them to know.
Yeah, for them or for you.
Heh. They kept guns in piles.
Yeah, I say we keep them in case we need to arm a colony.
Yeah, we can take everything back to the ship.
Yep. Yep.
I would
yeah,
not be against that.
Yep, you can take everything back to the ship. And if you guys want to look through the rest of the ship, you can. Or if you want to leave now, you can.
Let's look around some more.
We should check downstairs before I chuck this Fishmaster 9000 in there.
What about the stores room?
Seems like it was mostly perishables. You can find a couple crates of Aladem nuts. But
Aladem, isn't that the knockoff?
yeah, it's the UPP knockoff of both of these. And again, just like with the AK-47s, that's modern. That's not something that would have been around pre-isolation. This is clearly something brought along with the Great Mother
expiration
mission.
dates on anything? Is there expiration dates on anything?
The expiration dates, it appears that like maybe a couple weeks from now or a couple months.
Alright, so this thing hasn't been here that long.
No. It appears it might have been here prior to kind of not quite the Great Mother mission itself, but like very early on. Just the UPP seems to have been up to some shenanigans, as it were.
Alright, let's go downstairs.
Okay.
Oh, guys, I always thought the UPP was crazy, but now I see they're nuts.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Now, Marty, as a Weyland-Yutani man, you know that if you were to mark this location, and send it to Wei, they would probably be very happy, at least, especially if you didn't tell ICC about it. Make of that what you will. But
Interesting.
yeah, you have a feeling that these things would probably fetch a pretty penny as kind of a find, so to speak. But only if you got them. Only if the ICC kind of looked past. Now, are you looking into the galley?
Amos will look in the galley.
Okay. You see another one of the pods. And it too is sending those kind of tendrilish vine-like structures out from its base into the ship.
Ugh, gross. Victor, is this one of the things that you saw upstairs?
I'll walk, or actually, yeah, I'll just go ahead and walk over there. Yes. Yes, it is. Seriously, multiple of these things.
Well, good thing I brought two Fishmaster 9000s.
Good thing, yes.
Yeah, I'm also going to tell you, God, what was I going to say?
You gain 1+ stress level because it's incredibly disturbing compared to even the
No.
incredibly disturbing stuff.
No. Amos gets one, but you guys have already seen it, so you're kind of like, okay, I recognize this thing as having seen it, just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I was specifically talking just Amos, but yes, that's a good thing to point out, yes.
Yeah, but it's still kind of alarming that there's more than one of them. This is not a big ship.
No.
So, two of these things kind of on opposite ends. You imagine, as they're extending tendrils, they could probably meet each other in a matter of maybe days?
Ew, they want to make whoopee on the ship?
They want to make the ship into the result of their whoopee. Because you can start seeing... You can start seeing those vines starting to turn almost into, like, arteries that are running underneath the floors and along the walls up into the ceiling.
Our ship only has stereotypical sci-fi weapon, projectile sci-fi weapons, right?
It only has tactical nukes and only for terraforming.
And only for terraforming, you say?
Yep.
Okay.
Or actually, let me I might actually have to double check because I forget if that's the Great Mother mission contingent or yeah. You guys actually don't have any like weapons. You guys just have defensive countermeasures, which specifically are. Let me. Yeah. You guys have the sensor drones and sensor decoys.
Yep. And the sensors on this thing we're not equipped with like boil an egg at 100 miles type sensors, are we?
No, mainly just like they're kind of like blips that'll be like that'll kind of confuse your enemy's weapon systems to fire in the wrong direction.
Oh, I wasn't talking the decoys. I was talking the sensors themselves, the actual sensor package.
Oh yeah. Probably not enough to do any like significant damage to this thing, but
oh well.
Just really makes me wonder where these things came from.
Yep, you have a feeling that these things
concerns me the most.
Yep, these things, the pods, they don't seem to have come with the ship. You have a feeling that they whatever attacked this ship left them here. Or brought them here. Or, well, I guess kind of the same thing, but...
Marty's checking the cargo.
Okay. It's kind of more of the same, but also weapons. More kind of weapons and armor.
All right, more goodies.
Yeah, seems like they were preparing for something. They were scouting and getting ready for something related to the Great Mother mission, but you don't know what.
Some more AKs and armor.
Yep.
I'm
It's
gonna
a good
check out
haul.
the cryo bunks.
So they've all been like surprisingly not left, as if, or not left, but like surprisingly kind of undisturbed out of all the stuff in the ship. It's
Anybody
almost as if,
sleeping?
no. No, it seems like everybody was woken up, possibly in response to this attack, or possibly just for some other reason. There are no survivors.
Can I gain any information like the last time they were opened?
Yeah, you're gonna. I would say that this happened probably like the pods were, or the cryo bunks were probably last opened maybe 5 days ago.
Actually, would they still be working, or
They,
are we under low power, I guess?
yeah, extremely low power. Like they are about to die. Just like they're about to die because like the power is basically almost entirely out. So they're running on just the last bits of reserve that they have. But yeah, they were probably, you'd about estimate like 5 days ago, something like that. And then the power was, and then the power was probably cut like 3 days ago.
Well, whatever happened, it happened in the last week, it looks like, guys.
Fantastic.
Anywhere else?
Glad we showed up when we did.
In maintenance.
Okay. Give me just a second. You find another one.
Yeah, shit. Ugh.
The entire,
Dang
yeah,
it.
the entire maintenance corridor, basically, you can feel it. A very subtle, but like just barely, if you like kind of close your eyes and kind of mark out all distractions, you can feel kind of a thump, 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 thump underneath your feet when you are in that room or corridor rather.
All right. Let's get the weapons. Get off of here. Um, listen. I suggest we don't blow this thing up. I put out a beacon for Wayu to come out here with a biological team and clean up. They got the right procedure for that, and chances are we'll get a little money out of it. What do you say?
Am I in the room when he says this?
Marty, are you trying to? Are you going to say this around Victor, or are you going to try and tell this to the others without him hearing you?
Well, he's already in the room, so.
Well, yeah. So then I will say that, yeah, you hear him say this.
If you want to roleplay it out differently, I could say I'm checking bunks while you three are in that room. Because otherwise I'm going to violently disagree. Not violently, but violently adjectively.
Yeah.
Or metaphorically.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot your ICC.
And that was not a rhetorical question.
So.
All right, so, yeah, if you're checking bunks, then you're checking bunks.
Then I'm checking bunks.
Okay. So what do the rest of you guys have to say about that?
I don't know, Mallory. These things are pretty goddamn disgusting. And you would be depriving me of a really good opportunity to explode them.
They're kind of out here in the middle of space, not
But-
hurting anything.
But I mean, they hurt my sensibilities by existing.
Their
just look
existence
at them.
offends you.
Really look at them. They're like
Yeah,
mosquitoes, man, Marty.
I'd rather not see
They're
them
like
again.
mosquitoes.
I mean, listen, I'm just trying to make some money here,
How much money are you talking?
Well, I don't know.
Probably, if you get it past ICC, possibly in the realm of 20, 30,000.
Something I forgot is we're all talking over comms, so whether or not we're in the same room doesn't matter, because we're in a hard vacuum. So.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still
I guess
checking
we're
bugs.
having a group debate over it.
Yeah.
So we're just talking like amongst ourselves in the room, and you just chime in over the
And Marty's just listening while he's checking bunks.
Yep. Victor's just like, you what?
It'll be a good chunk of change, a couple grand each for sure. Maybe even up to 5 or 10 grand each.
All right, Marty. If you can convince Victor, then I'm cool with it. If not, kaboom boom.
Well, I just think as a survival expert sent here to assess the survivability, I think we should be reporting this to the ICC.
And I'm just going to
well.
formalize that Victor's not a part of this conversation.
Okay. So you're kind of not listening to the comms.
I'm going to say that he was smart enough to just bring them two onto a separate comm channel. And I didn't notice them talking about it because I couldn't physically see them.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so... Yep. Let me know when you guys have settled on your...
But it's up to you, Commander. I'll follow your orders either way.
Well, we already had to get it past Victor, so if you're not on my side too, I don't want to have to fight two of you.
Well, we could just pretend we're blowing it up remotely and just never do it.
I mean, so long as you pay for my boom boom stick next round of explosives, I'm cool with that.
How much do they cost?
I'd have to look it up, but I don't think they're that expensive.
I mean, if you think about it, we really didn't discover anything here. We just found these life forms. Maybe later, when we uncover more about their origin, I'll have to report it.
Yeah, the blast mining charge are $200 each.
Yeah, it's chump change. I'll buy you another one.
All right. Well, if you're paying for them, then no problem.
Okay.
All right, so we'll just pretend we're gonna blow it up, and then I'll send a marker to weigh you.
Okay. What are you guys, so you guys gonna leave now?
Is there anything in this other cargo hold worth noting?
No, kind of more of the same. Just like giving you hints of something sus going on. Though, towards the kind of back of these two, you're starting to see vines and like little tendrils kind of starting to snake their way in from maintenance.
I've never seen a life form so vigorously integrating with technology like this.
You have to tell them to hurry and come check this thing out, because it might be a mess of whatever this crap is by the time they get here. All right, let's pack up and get out of here then.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I will go ahead and start planting the charges.
Okay.
Plant one over in the galley, and then planting one over in maintenance.
Okay. Are you planting them like on the pods, or?
Oh no, well, close-ish to them.
Yeah. As you get close to the pods, you notice that they kind of, almost like, you ever seen those like bubble, or not bubble, like those kind of, like fungal pods that release the spores?
Yes.
So as you do this, as you're kind of getting close, you see these little polyps kind of on the surface of the pods first, but nothing's really happening. You assume it's probably because you're in a hard vacuum, but mainly because you're wearing a vacuum sealed suit. Whatever is on, that's kind of like whatever it's releasing is not able to get onto your body, like, or into your system.
Yeah.
You get skeeted on, basically.
Yeah, well, one charge set. Doodly-doo. 2 charges set. Alright, let's skedaddle.
And actually, that does bring up a good point. I should probably take some samples.
Okay. Same thing, the polyps kind of burst, but you do get your samples in your CBRN. I am gonna say, are you kind of using like the little kind of knife inside your kit to kind of scrape off some sample?
Oh, now that you bring it up, that sounds like a terrible idea because you wouldn't bring it up if it didn't have a consequence. But probably.
Okay, give me just a second. I'm sure not. I'm sure there couldn't possibly be anything that'll
Yeah,
cause
take a
problems
few
here.
samples of the actual tendrils, maybe a bit of the flesh off the thing. And if I notice him walking past me, I'd probably see a slight color difference due to the spores on his thing because I didn't actually see the spores itself in the first place. Thus, I would have had to know. Blah, blah, blah.
Whoops. Didn't mean to click that twice. Let me see.
Into which, with that, would the spores actually stick to his suit?
The spores will not stick, but you notice that as you're kind of scraping, there's this splash of kind of green liquid that starts to get onto your suit. And it starts to hiss and steam. Make me an armor roll. Okay, so
I fail.
You are going to take 2 damage.
To page 107.
It's actually in the new one, Precious Suit Breach. Okay, roll
on
me.
page 93.
Yeah. So let's see. Takes damage. Roll. Okay, roll for the suit's armor rating again.
Does Victor
Oh, well,
say
that
anything
fixed your
on-
issue.
What?
on
Well, whoever had the Way You contract, that fixes your issue. I'm dead.
Well,
Pretty sure.
I'm gonna say roll me a d6. 3. There is damage, but no breach yet. If you have to roll again, you'll add +1 to your d6 roll. So, are you at 0 health?
If I took 2 damage, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna say that. So, do you roll me stamina?
I'm gonna say I was next to that one.
Okay.
Any mods?
I'll give you a +2 just because you're in a pretty heavy suit and it would have been relatively mild, but at the very least you're going to suffer a critical injury. I don't think I'm going to let it kill you, but it might cripple you.
Yep, it sounds about right.
Yeah. Okay, so let's roll, or you know what? I'm going to decide a critical injury. Why don't you tell, because you used your knife.
Yep.
Not knife, but like your little kind of sampling knife. So it
Scalpel
probably,
or...
yeah, it probably would have gotten on your arm, right? You think we can agree on
Yep.
that?
Yes, I can agree with that.
So,
Though for all I know, it probably would have gotten on my face, given I was probably close to it.
yeah, so I'm gonna say that you have you have the same effects as arm artery cut, at least in terms of like your effects during healing, but it's really just severe, like 3rd-degree burns. Like you can see the bone of like your forearm.
Yep.
And you have to clamp your other arm over it to kind of, because the suit is kind of sealed. Like the suit hasn't been completely breached, but you're being real careful. You are broken, so somebody's going to need to pull you out. And
All right.
Well, how about we say that Cliff sees him get too close and I managed to grab him and, pinch my hand tight around
yeah,
to stop or slow any more air from leaking out, but it's already too late for his arm, which has
yeah. Now roll me a
obviously been
d6.
injured.
Yeah, roll me a d6, streamer. Okay, so put on your sheet critical injury. I'm gonna say basically acid burned arm. I'll let you choose which arm, but that arm cannot be used for the next 6 days, and you'll need kind of medical attention ASAP. Luckily, you're going right back to your ship, which actually has full medical attention, so you'll be able to get that. But you
Yep.
have a feeling that all of you have a feeling that questions are going to be asked when you come back and one of you has a kind of damaged suit with 3rd-degree acid burns on their arm.
Oh no, actually at that point you're dealing with 4th degree, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah. Basically, yeah, think like something you've seen in Aliens.
That one scene from the Ark. I cannot remember the name of the Indiana Jones movie because
Ark
I've
of the
never watched it.
Covenant.
Yes.
Yeah, where he.
But I can't remember the name of the movie exactly.
Or the RoboCop dude.
Oh yeah, where he's
Probably.
gotten in the toxic sludge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's some bad damage. So long as you get prompt medical attention, like it's not going to kill you, but you're not going to be able to use that arm for at least 6 days, and that's if you get medical attention. If you don't, you're probably going to have to amputate it at the elbow.
Yay.
Like if
And
you suppose
just to
that this
role play
is
it out, my character has probably been screaming for the last minute and a half while this goes down.
Yeah.
Just at the top of his lungs.
Damn it, Victor,
Incomprehensibly.
I'd cover your mouth if I could.
I can't hear you over my own screaming.
Yeah. So everybody takes +1 stress level.
How many do I take? 6?
No, you. Luckily, you'll only take one, but you do manage to get the sample. Crazily enough.
Yay.
So, yeah, you all. Who's gonna call in the pilot to kind of come swing by close enough for you to spacewalk back?
I'm calling pilot. So first I'll be like, Cliff, how bad is it?
Oh, it's pretty bad. His arm is fucked. But he'll survive.
Alright, I'm calling pilot.
How's it going out there?
Yeah, we need pickup right now. We got an injury.
What the hell? All right, headed back your way. ETA, 2 minutes.
Alright, Cliff, get him back upstairs.
Yep. And if anybody wants to make a kind of a medical aid to kind of take him back from like broken, or at least to kind of address the critical injury, so that it doesn't end up becoming. Because if he doesn't get medical attention within the next turn, like a successful medical aid roll to kind of avoid the. Because he'll have to make another stamina roll in a turn. If he fails, then he'll need amputation. Okay. So.
I didn't think I could. I guess I could try using a surgical kit in space. I don't know.
I will.
Well, that would work.
I will allow you to wait, like, because the turn is about 15 minutes. I will allow you to wait until you get back through the airlock.
Okay. Alright, well, I'll
So,
make the roll now.
Yeah.
Yes, let's just ignore the convenience of that my entire, what is it? Cardiovascular system wasn't sucked out through my arm in a hard vacuum.
Yeah, luckily the spacesuit wasn't, like, it wasn't wide enough damage to, like, fully just, like, destroy your suit. It was enough to kind of make a small tear, but luckily these suits are built in such a way that if it's not a huge gaping wound, it will kind of self-seal.
+1 to medical aid?
I believe it is. Yes. I will double check though. Let me. Let's see.
Okay, if it can self-seal, that's actually pretty good. That makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
I would hope it could do that, because otherwise you'd be dealing with a lot of issues.
Oh yeah. They can. Okay, so yeah, +1 to medical aid rolls to prevent death from a fatal critical injury, which in this case I'll say is in the sense that like you're basically rescuing his arm.
If this exact attack was to the torso, it would have been considered fatal, probably.
Oh, definitely.
So I could go for that.
Yeah,
That's
or the
2 successes.
Yeah, or the face. If it had been the face, I would have made you lose an eye. But okay, so now you are back to 1, so you're no longer broken. But yeah, make sure to note in your character sheet that you're unable to use whichever arm you think that you would have been taking the sample with.
Right arm, 6 days.
Okay. Yep, right arm. You can't use it for 6 days. And you're probably going to need to do some kind of intensive physical therapy to regain your basic motor functions, because a lot of the muscles were damaged.
Oh, well, at that point, you're dealing with major neurological damage.
Yeah. So it's going to take like longer than that, but also, sci-fi future medical bullshit. Like, you can go into a med pod and it'll help restore a lot of that nervous system damage So it'll still be 6 days, but it's not going to be an easy healing process. This is probably something that is going to act as a mental trauma.
That'll do it.
Yeah, and probably for a lot of you. Because none of you ever come across an alien organism that has basically acid for, vital fluid. Do you want to go to the med pod now?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I would see no reason as to why not. I mean, screw the paperwork. I like my arm.
Yep. So, yeah, your arm has been rescued. It's not going to need to be amputated. The med pod will help, will get you back up to full. Yeah, so now you're back up to full health. It's just, you still have the effects of the critical injury.
Cool.
Yeah,
They put your arm in an old school cast, so you can't move it around.
Yeah, it's like an immobilized thing that has, it's basically constantly applying, like, salve to your, to the burned area to kind of keep it sealed from any sort of, agents of infection or anything like that. Because, that's obviously one of the biggest causes of kind of complications from that kind of injury is, secondary infection. But,
Yep.
yeah, you guys get back on board. Are you going to report, Victor, are you going to report your findings to your fellow ICC?
Yeah.
He's going to say,
But
God.
he's noticeably fairly solemn and should I roleplay that I may leave details out or that I would be overly precise in details? Which would be more accurate, you think?
Yeah, I think that's up to your character. I think
because it's the thing of I'm not saying I'm leaving out details to help anyone. I'm leaving out details because I may have forgotten or I just didn't notice it or I am currently massively traumatized to almost losing my arm and thus I'm not thinking too straight at the moment.
Yeah, I would say maybe you basically tell them that you came across an odd life form that seemed to be kind of almost taking over the ship, and when you tried to take a sample, this is what happened. It seemed to have like acid for blood almost, and then everything else is a blur. He's gonna note that down, and he's gonna say, well, we better put this whole fucking system under quarantine. Because if it did that to you, just imagine what it's going to do to that ship and to anybody who comes in contact with it. That is danger on a whole nother level.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So,
Amos is going to chime in. I got a solution to the danger. It holds up a big red button.
Okay. Do you want to press it?
Click.
Okay. Roll me. What is the damage on those?
It's not explosive per.
Okay, so roll me 9d6 twice. Though I believe you also get, because you've basically you targeted two of the. Let me find it in the. Let's see. So, yeah, 96 and then an additional 2 per. So just roll me 96 twice.
I gotta figure out how to do that.
Yeah, you can just do /R 96.
There's also a dice icon in the upper left of the map, into which you can then go to Advanced Dice Roller. And then under the Advanced Roll is a number of dice, the size of the dice, and then the bonus added to that.
There we go. Thank you.
Yep. Okay.
D6.
Okay.
There's that. And then there's it a second time.
What the stink is with all of the 5s this session?
That is a good question. So, yeah, you guys obviously don't hear that because, hard vacuum and everything, but you might see the explosions blasting out from the kind of lower portion of the derelict. Now, let me make a
Would
quick...
those have been close enough to compromise the reactor?
They would have been one of them would have been below the reactor, and I'm gonna say roll me or roll me a d6. On odds, it was the one in the maintenance, which is kind of right above the reactor, where there's. Did I say odds?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I'm gonna say that. Roll me another 96. Yeah, it's that reactor is gonna go kaboom boom. Now let me also okay, so yeah, whatever those things are, they seem to have been taking a little bit of damage at least from one of the blasts, but now you guys can see. Think like in Aliens, when the reactor is kind of venting the plasma before it goes up. You guys can start seeing kind of escaping plasma from the reactor of the ship, and you're in the danger zone. So you might want to tell your pilot that he better gun the engines and get out of Dodge.
Oh, what's our pilot's name?
Uh, his name, ironically, is Andy, also known as Dudge, because his last name is Dudgeon. So you might want to tell Dudge to get out of Dodge.
Oh shit, Dudge, that was not supposed to be as big as it was. Get the shit out of here.
Okay, and let me double check the shit, what the piloting bonus is. Thrusters, okay. He manages to expertly navigate you out, and you see the entire little. It's a small ship, but it blasts out like a little supernova almost. Like just, it's very very bright, and all that's left is just little tiny bits of metal, kind of floating around. That thing is just scrap.
Well, so much for our bonus.
Well,
I'm sorry, what?
what do you mean, Marty? That was the bonus. God, that was a good explosion. Haven't seen one of them since the 4th back home.
Yeah, almost killed our asses too.
Well, I mean, it's not a good 4th unless something blows up bigger than you expect it to.
Okay, so
I mean, we even got a hand injury. This is exactly like the 4th of July.
and I'm gonna say
No offense, Victor.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that wisecrack lowers your stress level by 1, Victor.
I'll go with that.
Yeah. Now,
And he does kind of chuckle at it.
yeah, you guys can make
In between the desire to punch him.
Yeah, you guys can make a report to Gaius if you would like.
Yeah, we might as well.
Yeah, so you pull up videos, and this is Gaius, yes? You have an update?
Yeah, so we found this derelict ship. Looked like UPP military craft. Lots of weapons. No surviving people on board. Looks like it was attacked, and there was some kind of biological something on there.
Most troubling indeed. With all the missing expedition crews to some of the former colonies lately, it seems like there may be something very sinister going on here. But I'm sure it will be nothing that you can't solve with a little bit of The old elbow grease and American spirit, as it were.
Well, the American spirit already solved it.
Yeah, I should add, there's nothing left of it.
Well, I'm sure that some of the corporate sponsors will be less than happy about that, but the ICC, given what you've told me, and given what Tan Blatchman has reported of the situation, was probably the best course of action in the given what you had available to you.
And do y'all relay what type of equipment was on there? Weapons, armor, it being a UPP scout ship that was specifically here because of the Great Mother mission and so on?
Yep.
Despite the fact that that shouldn't have been here.
Yep, Gaius is
Yeah.
Yep, Gaius
Vaguely.
is
Yeah.
there are no UPP space operating forces registered to the Great Mother mission. This is troubling. Very troubling. We will get to the bottom of this, however. In the
If
meantime, go ahead.
if I may ask, is there any way we can get a gun on this ship? And I'm
Well-
actually asking him.
You guys actually didn't you guys bring the crates of weapons and armor aboard with you?
Yes.
Oh
yes,
no,
we
I
did.
mean like, oh, did we actually? I thought we would just labeled it for later.
We totally took them.
Yeah, we had everything collected for pickup.
Victor, you checked them out. You said they were
You
all
were
good.
you were passed out, with your arm and stuff, so you didn't see it.
Yeah.
Okay, I could go for that.
Yep. So you guys all have access to military grade weapons and armor, which might come in handy later. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
Though I
Indeed.
was asking about
for the ship itself,
ship
our main
vessel
ship.
firearm, not firearms,
Like
deck
har-
guns.
unfortunately, unfortunately, we do not have any of that. But if you were to find a ship that happened to have, say, a derelict ship that you were able to bring with you, we might be able to retrofit something on there.
Well, I'll look over the ICC protocols for acquisitions and commandeering of military vessels, but I'll see what we can do.
Victor, I think that's technically piracy laws work in space, that if it's sunk, it's yours if you can tug it to the nearest port.
Something makes me think that next one we find won't be as uninhabited.
I mean, so long as they don't speak English, or Russian, or Chinese.
Or Japanese.
Let me rethink. So long as they don't speak, it's all good.
Just make sure it doesn't end up like this one this time.
Well, okay. That we had a coin flip of whether it was going to be really big or not, and it just happened to be a 4th of July situation. So,
Yep. Okay, so
I think I want Cliff to add something before we
okay.
end the call.
Yep, go ahead.
Well, as the UN survival expert, I think these life forms we've discovered pose a very serious threat to reestablishing the colonies here.
Well then,
And I'd like to make it one of our priorities to further investigate the origin of this life form and its importance here.
I agree that it appears that it might serve, at least based on some other preliminary reports from others, it may indeed pose a severe threat and a severe impediment to our mission here. I give you the full support of Great Mother mission, as does Abantu, Governor Abantu, and on to the next mission. I have circled several on the colony status reports that you may follow up on. Two of them we have already sent expedition crews out to, but they never returned. The other two are one, we received communication from the system. The other, there seems to be something going on of importance. If you guys want to look at the colony status reports, you'll note that, as I said earlier, the two places you've already been have been checked off, and you've got 4 systems circled there.
Right, and which ones are the ones that people went missing?
July and Capelli. So KOI 1739 and KOI 2290.
And you're saying you heard communications from one of them?
Yes, from KOI 2469. We quite an interesting call, really. Seems to be a old Three World Empire comms. Specifically, the old monarchies hailing frequency.
What was it again? What KOI?
KOI 2469 from the site of former
October colony.
Yeah.
It's the bottom circled one.
How was the? Do we know what they want?
All it was it seemed to be a pre-recorded distress signal set to broadcast whenever any friendly forces would arrive within broadcasting range. Because it only just started broadcasting.
Well, we got 3 probably trouble places, and 1 question mark. So how much trouble you guys want to get into?
Well, I think if we checked October first, maybe we might find living colonists who could, I don't know, give us some more information, maybe.
That's a good thought. Let's check it out.
Okay. So,
Are we gonna go back and try to use our XP first?
yeah, this is the point where, give me just a second, I'm gonna go back. I'll be right back. Okay. So, everybody who wanted to put put XP into skills, you can put that in now. If you wanted to get a talent that is not shared or is not already had by somebody else on the boat, so to speak, then you're going to need to make a wits roll.
Cool. I'm going to say that as I'm recovering, my physical therapist recommends water-based exercises.
Okay.
So, just so I know y'all have already decided on October, but I'll agree with it.
Yeah. Okay. So,
I passed my wits roll.
yep, there you go. So you get
Awesome.
your fast reflexes.
I'm gonna ask, it's Emily, the other prospector on the ship, does she have the prospecting talent?
Let me double check. She does not, surprisingly enough. Though I would be willing to give you a +1 since it's basically the core of what to your wits roll. And
All right.
you get to roll once per day, and it's going to be multiple days. Oh, yeah, there you go. You have prospecting.
Oh, I get it.
There you go. So, let's head on off. Let me check, because you guys were... Let's see how far to October Colony, or October Outpost, rather. Okay, 1.5 parsecs. What is the speed rating of the ship? FDL rating is... Okay, 15 days. So you guys will get...
Is there anything between where we're at and October?
The KOI 2472 or 1492. Probably KOI 2472 is more on your... is basically directly on your way.
All right. Well, I'm gonna ask, can we do some prospecting there?
Yeah, if you want.
I would love to try out this new prospecting ability.
Okay. Are you guys all okay with that?
Yeah, sure.
Let's make some money.
Okay.
Give me
Whatever
time
it
to
Make
get
some
some fixed.
money. Let Victor do his hand stretches.
Yep.
Yeah, because
You give him that little squeezy thing,
the stress...
squeezy stress thing, with the
Okay.
eyes that pop out.
Okay, let me...
Actually, no. Amos is going to craft a little squeezy stress thing that is a little itty bitty gator, which eyes pop out.
I love that. That is very nice. I like that. So, you
That's
guys
cool.
have entered a very interesting system. It's a binary system with 2 G-class kind of yellow stars. And particularly the 4th planet from the kind of... Because binary stars are relatively close together. They're not like, where one of them is, orbiting at a period of 20,000 years around the other. They're orbiting, within probably about half an astronomical unit from each other, so... Yeah, you find this planet KOI 247204. I've shared the... It's the only rocky planet in the system. Surprisingly, there's not a lot. Probably because of the gravitational issues of trying to form planets around binary systems. There's a ton of asteroid belts where planets might have otherwise formed, but just gravity, the gravity of the system just would not allow them to really kind of stick together. So, but this planet is quite hospitable to life. It's got, a nice average temperature, 15 Celsius. It's a little bit smaller than Earth at 0.7 0.7 g for surface gravity. It's got a long, rotational period, orbital period, long, but you'd expect that from a planet that's orbiting 2 stars, at least one that's in kind of the habitable zone, so to speak. So, where do you guys want to? Where do you want to prospect?
I'm gonna say the southern pole.
Okay, so why don't you use your prospecting talent? So,
All right, so roll observation with at +2.
the resource potential, I believe, is let me. Yeah, that is for when you find something.
Right. Okay, so just plain old observation then.
Yeah, and then if you don't like the result,
Okay.
yeah,
So
I will.
when rolling on the prospecting table.
Yeah. Okay, so
Should we clear our stress levels?
yes, you can clear your stress levels, but luckily he got a success on his regular, so yeah. The prospecting talent allows you to re-roll the what's it called?
The prospecting table.
Yeah. Okay, so now you're gonna roll me a
D66.
yep. Just trying to remember. Let me double check something real quick.
Find us something good.
Trying to remember where the table is.
Oh yeah, I guess you would get +2 on the regional potential, so you would have gotten +2 to that. So
Okay,
roll
do
me
you want me to roll?
2d6. Yeah, roll me
Yep.
2d6. Okay, let's see. Okay, so your roll then is a 64.
64.
So that is you find some extensive fossil deposits of long lost life.
Okay. Let me roll another D66 and see if I get better.
Okay.
Oh, I
61.
do.
Okay, so that would be a 71. I will let you. So I'm going to say that you find meadows filled with new plant life. Beautiful, beautiful, kind of sprawling meadows with little wildflowers and I'm going to say because you're aerial, you're kind of this is an aerial scouting. Do you want to go
Yep.
down and kind of take a closer look?
And frolic in the flowers.
Frolic in the flowers, or potentially see what useful, like what use, if any, this new plant life might have.
Yeah, I'll go down and take a look.
Okay. So, does anybody else want to go with him? Perhaps somebody with like medical or like kind of medical knowledge, or just like
Yeah, I'll join him.
okay. So, do you want to kind of take a closer look at some of the flowers? And Dreamer, might you want to go with them?
Yeah, I can if you'd like.
Yeah, I
All
mean it's
good.
up to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Maybe get out that CVRN kit.
Dreamer.
Yeah, take some samples. Might as well.
Yep, Dreamer and
Yes.
and Cliff. Cliff specifically, you note that some of these plants have medicinal properties, specifically just based on, especially Victor, when you get a little bit of you're able to get like a little bit of composition of some of the kind of molecules, or not molecules, but like the kind of compounds that are present in some of the flowers. It seems that they are they're very unreactive in a sense. Like if you were to coat them, like those, if you were to kind of isolate those compounds and coat them over a surface of like, it would be probably very resistant to things like acid.
Organic liquid bandage.
Bandage, or and
These
even just
sorta-
like protective coating.
He's
You wish
definitely
you
helped you
shoes.
out, Victor.
Yeah, you wish you'd been here just a couple days ago.
Yeah,
Might have
that
saved.
probably would have been nice.
Yeah, might have saved you a lot of heartache.
Maybe.
And
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't
Anyone got a
take much
shovel?
to take some of these back and synthesize an acid-resistant coating.
yep, and I will allow that. You also,
Just
any of you guys know a good about enough about like agriculture or farming?
I mean,
my character is an office worker.
that's what Amos lived and breathed.
You note that there are some legumes. They seem to be high in protein, kind of classic like edible nuts, if you will, and a lot of grain. A lot of these are very similar to earth grains like wheat. So, in addition to medicinal properties of some of these plants, like the tulips, there's also some of this could be really, really good farming.
Yeah, this place is pretty nice. Be good for a colony here. They'd make a lot of food.
A lot of
Oh,
food.
yeah.
They might be able to make research outposts for medicine.
Yeah. Oh, these nuts are delicious. God, someone should call both of these nuts. Should go great in their mixed nuts.
I'm going to say, just for the sake of it being very funny, there will be a because there are a lot of minor corporations with execs present on the Great Mother mission. I'm going to say that there is at least one Bophades Nuts executive.
Well, I mean, they're a pretty big corp from what I understood, so.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, most of our provisions, like half of them were Bophades.
Yep. Yeah, good half, because you needed stuff that wouldn't spoil over the 2-year cryo journey. So yeah, nuts are the natural solution.
Yep. Though you start looking at military MREs, you look at MRE tasting channels, you got guys eating 50, 60, 70, 80-year-old food.
Yeah, that's true.
Those things last.
They last,
But the nuts are a good idea too.
Yeah, because
Good
they're so
protein.
high. So high in protein. Now, what was I looking for? So, do you guys want to establish a colony?
I think it'd be a good idea.
Okay. So
Right.
you guys, I take it you guys want to set it up in on the South Pole.
Yes.
Okay. So give me just a second. I am going to. So we are in the what's the 2472? Okay. Okay. Now let me just grab the rules for setting up a colony.
While you look at that, Marty's gonna pick a couple of the flowers and take a couple of the legumes and set them on top of each other and tell the others, "Hey, look, there's tulips in my nuts."
I'll give you a story point for that one. That's very good. Okay. So I'm going to say that you get two sponsoring organizations.
Cliff is just shaking his head.
Yeah, one of them is the Bophades Nuts Corporation, and the other, I will allow you guys to choose a group to approach, whether it's Whaling Yutani, Three World Empire, United Americas, like any of those.
Well, Marty would be inclined to go to Wayu.
Okay. So, are you guys all good with that?
Yeah, Way would be fine.
Okay. Let me try to see. Handouts.
Amos has faith in the Bophades brand that they can make sure that Wayu doesn't get up to any weird shenanigans.
Okay.
Are you sure about that?
Okay. So
Amos doesn't know any better.
So what do you guys want to call your new colony? And what is going to be your primary mission? Research, i.e. the medicine, or farming?
What are the other systems in the area? Let me look at the
I would think research, anything we find out about crops could be used elsewhere anyway.
Yeah, so your primary mission is research. Let me okay, so this is okay, so
yeah, further research on that stuff would be probably good. Because you know enough of it, if we could make a synthetic version of that protective coating, that would be more valuable than having to grow a bunch of the same crop just for it.
yeah.
I think
So that way we ain't
Amos should
sucking up
name
our
the
own
colony.
hydroponics for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry, saying?
oh,
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of a good one.
Okay, so mission. I'm just creating the colony sheet for you. So and then I'm
The
gonna
best I'm
say
coming up with at the moment is Ligma.
okay. I'll let it be Ligma Outpost. So let's see. So this was established. I'm going to say right now it is. I mean, I'll just say that it's. I'll just say the year 2185. Sponsor is Bophades Nuts and Whaling Yutani.
That should be in their new phonetic alphabet. For L. Ligma, as in Ligma nuts.
Okay, now population for a starter colony. I'm just checking. Sorry, I haven't done a lot of this. I haven't really done any of the colony establishing stuff. Trying to. Let's see. I'm going to say that somebody roll me a D66. Okay, so your starting population from the the kind of mothership is 61 people, and that is going to include your kind of start. So now I just have to remember how to how to kind of how to, because you have starting attributes. Oh, okay. Only D3 plus 1 per attribute, so you've got economy. So someone roll me a D3 and add 1.
4.
Okay. 4. Okay. So your economy rating for this outpost is 4. Then someone else do the same. D3 plus 1.
3.
Okay, 3. That is your potential. Now we're going to do this 4 more times. So this next one is going to be productivity. Okay, that is going to be 2. Okay, then 3 for maintenance. Then 2 more. Okay, that is 3 for science. And then 2 for spirit. Okay, so then let me add these all up. 4 plus 3, that's 7, 8, 9. That is 12. Plus 3 is 12, yeah. That is 14. Or, that's 12. That's 15, 16, 17. So your current development level for your colony is 17, which puts you at Inceptor. So you can have 1 policy and 1 installation. So you can have like a bunch of different policies. For policies, there's depending on the policy, it'll give you differences in attributes. For installations, it'll be -1 to the relevant attribute. I will discuss these with you off stream because that's kind of getting into basically, colony management, and that's not really anything we all want to see. So I am just gonna let me just save this.
You say that. There are people who play D&D just for, like, the farming and economy.
That is fair. I just want to make sure that we get into the action, so to speak. Let me just... so this is going to be Ligma Colony. So... yep. You guys are going to get to choose a policy and an installation I've already created some like base templates for your colony command, because those people are gonna basically be influencing all of your kind of basically influencing your whole colony. You guys will be able to create. I basically just made templates, so if any of you guys want to create, backstory, you can even use them as like a backup NP or a backup PC later. You have your colony supervisor, corporate director, civil marshal, prospector general, union steward, chief engineer, and science advisor. But again, this is stuff we can all deal with off stream. But now you have created an upstarting colony, and it is on an Earth-like planet with a breathable atmosphere, mild temperatures. It's perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, seems like a paradise in the making.
Close.
So, Marty, do you think you would have tried to pull some strings to get some familiar faces onto Ligma Outpost?
I was thinking about that. If Marty would get his boys down here.
Yep.
It seems like a good place so that they're not stuck in cryo on that ship, considering since some people died in cryo, like after the first session, I think Marty would be motivated to get them off.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. And if you want, because how old are they?
I don't remember. Let's see. They're probably like teenagers, I would say, probably.
Okay, so yeah, they wouldn't take any of the colony command team roles, but yeah, they seem quite happy here. They're frolicking. They're enjoying themselves. They give you a big hug, and they ask if it's time for their new lives.
Yeah, I have to get back to work, but I didn't want you stuck in cryo for so long. This place seems great, so you guys enjoy it, and as soon as I can get done with my contract, I'll be joining you.
Yep, and yep, and since you have the most stake in this, like at least narratively, I'll give you like a bit of kind of not necessarily control, but like a lot of kind of you'll get a bit more direction in terms of where the colony is headed, like policy wise. But everybody will have access to the like if you guys want to create the characters who are kind of the colony command team, that'll be something done in between sessions. But yeah, that was about a week's journey. So you guys get your kind of cryo, or you get a week's salary plus a quarter, so 1.25 weeks salary. And your contracts will say what that is. Are you guys ready to move on to...
That only took a week?
The survey itself took a week. It was about a week in cryo. From Gorham to here. And that does mean, since you were prospecting for a week, so you weren't in cryo, your arm is actually all better.
Awesome.
And, yeah. Did you guys take any samples of the, how much of the acid-resistant, kind of plant material did you bring with you? If any.
I probably got a small bag's worth, and I probably brought a potted plant of it.
Okay.
Maybe some root... Well, yes. Let's just go with that. That way I can get root samples and such later.
Yeah.
For cloning.
Yeah, cloning, and also just, you might have a personal stock if you wanted to, kind of grind some up and, rub it onto your... rub it onto, a piece of, your armor if you feel like there's going to be some hostilities that might need it. I would give you a... I would give you... acid... Your armor would be doubled against any acid splash damage.
Cool.
But it would, wear off after, I would say, like 3 splashes. But, yeah, you guys heading on to October?
Yep.
Before we leave, can we leave the AKs with these guys? The AKs and the armor?
Yeah, you can leave, yeah, you guys can leave them with some of the AKs.
Yeah, my character is kind of flashbacking to that first colony and just watching everyone getting pushed off a cliff. Sort of
guys-
that going through my head as I watch the other guys' kids hug him and such. So,
Yep, and
I'm gonna take one of those suits of the armor with me.
yeah, if anybody wants to take one of those suits of armor, you can. There were probably about 20.
I ought to apply masks to self before helping others.
Yeah, so there you go.
All right. Did you post the stats for that, or was it just the same as the M3?
Yeah, it's the same as the M3. Armor 6, weight 1, built-in comms unit.
Then what was the name?
It's 6B90. Yep. Yep, she's put in the chat.
Paste it again.
Okay. So, we're moving on.
Yep, to me at least.
Okay, everybody ready?
Yep.
Ready?
Okay. Let me, So, you guys enter the system, the KOI 2469 system, and that's when you hear the, or at least you get the notification that that there is a broadcast being sent out.
Let's hear the broadcast.
This is a distress signal from. Sorry, let me get the. Yep, this is a distress signal coming from the U. Sorry, which is it? RMSS, Her Royal Majesty. I am Matilda. Sorry, God, where is it? Full name. Here we go. I am Matilda Akashino Windsor. I am a princess of the Three World Empire royal family. I am sending this to any friendly forces out there. I have been stuck here for I don't know how long. I am currently, if you are listening to this, I am currently in cryo. I am the only survivor of my ship. We had to return to orbit because anarchy reigned on the planet below after the outbreak of a strain of the New Earth plague was broke out on the planet KOI 246901. And I have been here ever since. I am hoping that someone will help me. I will reward you greatly if you are able to get me out of here and back to my family. I am sure they will also reward you handsomely.
So they're on a ship then, in orbit?
Yeah, you can make it out, actually. You can, it pops up on your scanners, orbiting the planet. It is a ship similar to yours in make, but not the same model. Because yours is kind of expedition science. This one is very clearly kind of the, basically the equivalent of a yacht, in a sense. It's just all catered to luxury for the elite.
Marble floors and gold trim.
Pretty much, yeah. It's pretty, as one might say, baller. So, do you guys want to approach the ship?
Yeah, let's go to the ship first.
Okay. So the ship is is kind of powered down, as you would expect for a ship that's kind of been in dormancy, so to speak. So I'm just gonna say, want me to take us in?
Yep.
Okay. So that is, let me grab the Slovetsky Island. That is going to be a piloting roll. Yeah. Smooth as, well, something very smooth. He manages to dock with the RMSS Her Royal Majesty and connect you to the airlock. And you guys can board.
All right, let's go in.
Okay.
Cool.
You'll note. I don't remember where the. Oh yeah, you're able to airlock in. You enter through one of the airlocks, like up here. I'm gonna say, because I only made the map of this floor because I couldn't be fucked to make the maps of the other floors. But
That's fine.
let me just.
All right. Any welcoming committees so far?
So far everything seems to be running on silent, but as you connect, the power starts to come back on. Think like the intro of Aliens, or of Alien, where, you know, the ship slowly starts to kind of power back on as they've kind of been, as they've entered the the, what was it, Zeta Reticuli system. You kind of hear dunk, 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 dunk as the lights start to power on. And just as you expect, it is a incredibly luxurious ship. Like, this is just total top class. Something that you would see in just a, like, someone who's not just a silver spoon, but a diamond spoon. Like, born with a diamond spoon in their mouth.
Well, let's go see if Her Majesty is actually still in cryo.
Okay. So, you notice in these cryo areas, you notice it is much more kind of bare, as if this is an area for the help. But if someone wants to make me a if someone wants to make me,
Perhaps.
yeah, if someone wants to make me a observation, Vic, it'll be at a -2 unless you're using a CBRN.
I have a CBRN. Would you like me to do it?
Yeah, if
Yeah, it sounds good to us.
Let's see if I have better luck on this than I did my stamina roll. I, in fact, did not.
do you want to push that?
I can push an observation?
Yep.
I'll take it. Okay, how do I... Oh, yeah, push.
It's
Yep.
There we go.
Okay, so your CBRN is able to detect some very, very old stains of blood around the cryo, like each of the cryopods, like very, very old. Like the only reason they're still around is because this ship has basically been, in kind of deep freeze almost, so to speak. Otherwise, they would have, long, long since, kind of, decayed away.
And it's old as in it's been sitting there, or old as in it's been cleaned up?
Mainly, it seems like there was a very hasty attempt to clean it up, but by someone who doesn't know how to clean.
Okay.
So it's not like, like pooled blood. It's just like, very, very faint. You can barely see it with your naked eye. It's the CBRN that's really giving you the fact that it's even there.
Yeah. Okay, I get you.
But, yeah. You guys might also note, note that this is the symbol for, on blueprints for cryo chambers. Just a hint.
Alright, so, maybe she's got a suite somewhere.
Seems it.
Yep.
Would I actually have a map of this place up?
You can tell that it's basically just a modified version of your own ship. So...
Well, I meant, would my character be physically aware of the luxury suite that has a cryopod in it?
You might not necessarily know that there's a cryopod in there, but you would imagine since on your ship that's where the captain's quarters is, that might be where you would find someone of importance.
Then let's legitimize it that way. They probably converted the captain's quarters to something for the royals. Let's check that out first.
Okay.
And there was no trail of blood leading to the shower, right?
No, but...
Cool.
Yeah.
But?
Alright,
you
luxury
might see
suite.
something
Yeah, that's
later.
probably it.
Okay.
Yay. I do apologize, you were saying?
Oh, I was just saying, you might see something later if you look carefully in some certain areas. There might be some stuff to uncover here.
Reasonable. But I was asking the player that was speaking.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. That was good to know regardless.
Okay. You guys gonna enter the luxury?
I'm just reading the sign on the wall. It says luxury suite. Yeah, I think this might be it.
Yep, it says royals only.
Then
Not
how do we
for
get
the
next
help.
one?
Or the help do not enter unless summoned.
Jeez, they could have just put a sock on the door if they didn't want people coming in.
Yep. Everything here is just covered in gold and jewels and...
Yeah, that sock would be worth more than your entire life savings.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is for just, like, you see just crown jewels and, diamonds. Like, just this whole place is, like, sparkling. The floor is marble and just, there are just... It's hard to describe, really. It's cast in kind of a golden light, but one that is like specifically dimmed to not be overwhelming. Kind of one of those really fancy kind of lights. And in the corner, at least one of you notices a very fancy, basically diamond encrusted cryopod.
What is this, ruby? Sapphire? Think they'll miss some of this stuff if we take it?
Yes, they will.
Don't be a wet blanket. Let's see if she's picking up.
You just see Amos already has a handful of jewels.
Okay, so the cryopods is on kind of it's powered on, but it seems to be waiting for an external, not necessarily external cue, but it seems that it's like it's prompting an outside, like, kind of like press the button to actually get it to open up.
External command.
Yeah, like there's like a kind of not command console, but like like a series of buttons like outside the pod that would allow you to open it. Inside, you can see like if you wipe away the kind of frost that's gathered on the on kind of the kind of not display, but the kind of hood. You can see the person inside.
Well, time to wake Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, you can tell that
Anything
this
look
is
off?
off. If anything, this just puts into perspective how different the quality of life is for those with the means of vast wealth versus the actual working class. Because the other cryopods were kind of, the old-fashioned ones that you have on your own ship. Like, nothing special. They're just kind of a, like basic padding for you to be able to not, thrash around in. This thing is like almost like a bed, and it's, while those other ones probably wouldn't have even really lasted, like allowed someone to stay in cryo as long as like, longer than like, 3 years. This one appears like she could last another 4 centuries with just how immaculately attuned the tech and how optimized it all is. You've never seen a cryopod this fancy, and you didn't even think one existed.
Well, we could put it to use. We could leave her here for another 4 centuries.
But you start hearing a hissing as the seal is broken on the as the kind of, the hiss of escaping gas as the hood starts to raise. And this young, kind of pale, but not entirely pale. She's very clearly like half British, half Japanese. Young woman dressed in just like the most elegant hand-woven silk gown, kind of slowly blinks herself awake.
Good morning.
Oh, hello. I assume that you got my message.
Well, there was a distress signal, so we came here first. Although we are not Three World Empire. We're a group of various affiliations on the Great Mother mission, mostly regarding colonies and trying to reconnect them with the Middle Heavens,
Cliff's gonna interrupt, and he looks obviously agitated at something.
Okay.
What happened down there? What happened to my people?
Well, just as we landed, really, or shortly afterwards, rather, there was a disease outbreak. It was some strain of the New Earth Plague. You guys all recognize that name. It was a disease so horrible that it destroyed entire planets. Like, it just wiped entire planets of human life. And multiple systems are still under quarantine, even though that plague is from, the late 21st century. Because they're just afraid of any possibility of it getting out. So, as soon as we heard the first word, yes, Robo, super COVID. COVID 2091. But as soon as we first heard the word, we came back up into orbit. We weren't about to risk someone of status contracting such a deadly disease, or worse, bringing it back to the middle heavens. Though the isolation, the solar flares, and all of that would have made travel back to the middle heavens impossible, anyways. But the surface very quickly collapsed into anarchy. I'd be surprised if anybody's still alive down there. But at least there's someone around here who can help save the colony, or at least what's left of the vestiges.
So
She's clearly referring to herself.
So did you get back up here in the ship all by yourself?
Oh, it's a most unfortunate matter. We began to run low on food and supplies, and, well, the help and the crew, they started to turn on each other. They started to turn on each other, and I'm no fighter. I may have authority, but over such a desperate and rabid group of people, all I could do was lock myself in my chamber, waiting for an all clear. But by the time that happened, everyone else was dead. I did my best to honor their remains by cremating them, though we don't have facilities dedicated to that here, so the best I could do was burn what I could, and I tried to scatter their remains in the area of the EEV pods, but then all I could do was once I went through the last of the supplies, I put myself in cryo and set a message to broadcast whenever any sort of friendly ships were observed by Mother to be coming into the system.
Okay, well, we can get you out of here. We should probably check the colony for
Oh no, you don't want to do that. What if the New Earth plague is still raging down there? What if it's still contaminated?
Would it out of character? Would it still be contaminated?
After 80 years, you don't know, but you would guess that if all human life has been wiped out, as she suggests it might have, though you also note that she doesn't know. She left before she would ever observe the extent of the damage. But you imagine if all human life was wiped out, it would have no sort of disease, because it was a virus, would have been able to survive without a host for 80 plus years, or more like 75 or 70 years. Because bacteria can go into dormancy, viruses to a limited extent, but not 75 years of dormancy.
Well, actually, isn't that actually the case with anthrax? Or what is anthrax?
Anthrax is a bacteria. It's a bacteria.
It is a bacteria?
Yep.
I was under the assumption that was a virus. I was wrong. That's interesting. Thank you.
It's actually found in the soil. And part of the reason it's able to form this really kind of hardened shell and become kind of dormant like spores, and then but anyways,
I just know there was a guy a while back that tried to harvest it from old cow bones.
Oh
ended
yeah.
up getting caught over it.
Yeah. Anthrax is not pretty, but it is a bacterium, not a virus. And
Thank you.
viruses uniquely need, hosts in order to reproduce, and they can persist for a while, but since they can't reproduce by themselves, they need a host's genome to kind of hijack. There's a limited time that it could go without, circulating before it would kind of, die out.
Interesting.
So, if someone wants to
We
make
need to
me,
go down there and
oh, you
investigate,
can't.
Commander.
You can't.
You see, I never told you guys before, but the whole reason I signed up for this is that long ago, some of my ancestors, they settled out here as prophesized in their spiritual teachings. They said they would ride a phoenix into the stars and reach the next stage of enlightenment. We need to go down there and find out what happened to them.
I would
I mean,
strongly encourage you that you avoid any possible contact with the surface.
I mean, we can at least fly around, take a look-see, see if there's anything, any people around.
Okay, so just if someone wants to make me observation.
Would that also be me?
It could be whoever has the highest observation.
Oop. Already done.
He got the success. Good enough.
Okay. You can tell that she seems to be very, very intent that that you don't go to the surface, but it doesn't seem like that her intentions in that sense are entirely noble. You already get the sense that she's, being a monarch, vain and self-serving, even if she's very, very good at putting a kind of mask over it. You don't know what. It could be entirely just kind of your perception, your personal bias, but you just get the feeling that it's not all, compassion and looking out for your health.
Okay, well, how about this? Do you have any of the data disks for the colony up here, or are they still surface side?
Those would still be surface side, but what if you get contaminated and bring it back to your Great Mother mission? Would that not be...
Are the spacesuits fire and virus resistant?
Yeah. As long as your spacesuits are sealed, like biological contaminants can't get in.
Tell her that, and then as for sterilization, we can just burn the outside with blowtorches. Even virus like that can't survive that, really, I don't think.
Yeah. Oh, I really wish you wouldn't, but I guess I can't stop you.
Yeah, that's correct. Now, listen, you don't have to worry about it. We're going to get you out of here. And then what we do after that is our business, so...
Could you get me out of here first? Could you take me onto your ship?
You may not find the quarters to your liking, but, yeah.
Okay. So, if any of you guys want to explore this ship more, you can.
Set her up in the lavatory.
Actually, looking around would probably be a good idea, but something else I wanted to ask. How much would it be to skeleton crew this ship?
You would basically need a pilot, someone who can navigate, but you could theoretically commandeer the ship if you have someone with those skills.
I'd say commandeering wouldn't be necessary, but I'd say we at least get a small compliment and just fly this ship directly to the mothership. Just keep her on it, so that way we can deal directly with here. So
Okay.
I mean, asking Martner.
Amos can fly it,
Okay.
probably.
Yeah, it has the same stats as, so if you want to pilot it, because you guys are still docked, the Solovetsky Island is still docked with this ship. But, yeah, if you wanted to, like, you know, send some of the Solovetsky Island crew, if you wanted to tell some of them to come in here, you could.
I mean, we could always just leave the ship for now and come back for it later.
Hell, my thought is I want her away from here so that way she can't intervene with anything. If she has any validity to her role still, even if all her subjects are dead, I don't want her messing anything up here.
Okay.
Though my character
we
probably
also
wouldn't
could
know that
just-
she wasn't being completely legit with her concern. So,
We
but
could
you get
just
what I mean.
stick her back in the cryo bin until we're done here.
I don't think she would appreciate that.
Help! Help! I'm being attacked! Sorry, that's
Exactly.
But...
Oh, what's she gonna do?
Unhand me, you peasant!
I mean, just take her back to the ship and then give her to the med people and tell them to keep a real close eye on her.
Okay. So...
You mean attend to her every need?
I mean, if I ever need, you mean fried chicken and a good long nap?
Is that anything
Wink,
like...
wink.
Is fried chicken anything like turducken?
I mean, it's only one part of the turducken, but
How can you bear to eat just one part? That's so poor.
I mean, not with the amount of fat we put on our fried chicken. It costs more than the other two parts of a turducken.
Is it at least... Do you at least serve it on gold foil?
We serve it on some kind of foil, ma'am.
When you say that, she suppresses a look of kind of appallment. But you see a flash of it still there. The very idea of not being served on, like, crystal plates with, you know, gold foil and a diamond-encrusted goblet is not something she's used to.
I still say we get a pilot and a navigator, we keep her on this ship, and send her back to the mothership. Unless we really need this ship for looking around the place. That, or I'm just going to take a handful of her plates out of the private dining room with us.
You can do that, and you could. Do you want to go into the private dining room? Because
we do need to check out the rest of the ship, regardless.
I think we really need to investigate high-value storage.
Of course we do.
I mean,
we deserve a finder's fee.
I mean, you hear Amos' pockets jingle as he walks.
So does the Space IRS wait, no, yes, they would want to take your spoils of thievery. That's literally what they got Al Capone for.
They don't need to know.
They don't know
Tell
anything.
that to, was it Al Capone that got caught for
that
tax fraud?
Yep, tax evasion.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they got him on. But
couldn't get him on anything else, but they got him on tax evasion.
Yep, reminds me of that.
Income. It's spoils.
Yeah, reminds me of that episode of Batman where you guys know the one, the animated series Batman, where that like old enemy, or not enemy, but like the old rival of the Joker, that mob boss, basically gave him like a ridiculous amount of inheritance, and he had to basically he got audited by the IRS, and he just goes, "I'm crazy enough to take on Batman, but the IRS? Oh, I don't think so."
Yes, that one has become a meme, and I love it.
Yeah, it's a classic. So, she'll tell you, there's really no need to investigate the rest of the ship, is there? I mean, we got out before the strain really spread. Are you sure that it's really necessary?
You know what, Commander? I just thought of something. We might need to check and wipe their, what are they?
The nav data?
The logs of where they've been.
Yeah, the nav data.
Yeah, we should probably do that. But
Well,
also,
unless we,
Given how we found the other ships.
unless we're taking the ship, back to the mothership, we'll probably need that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you guys can look at the nav data on the bridge. It'll be a Comtech, but yeah. So does anybody want to look around the rest of the ship? She seems weirdly discouraging of looking around the rest of the ship. Dismissive, yet not really a fan of you guys looking around.
Let's go.
All right, let's get her off the ship. Might as well.
Okay. So,
Just
Let's start in private dining, maybe,
okay.
so we can get her plates.
Okay, so
yeah, let's do that.
let me grab. Okay, so
If she's not currently accompanying us, I'm going to tell sort of to the room, okay, we need to just get her back on the ship,
Yeah.
tell her that we're not going to look anywhere, and then just do it anyway.
Okay, so
'Cause
yeah, if you guys want to say that you've done that now, you can.
Would y'all be okay with that?
Okay, yeah, that works.
We had someone come and take her to medical on the Silvetsky Island, and then we just kind of didn't come with her.
So, in private dining, it is very clearly, like everything else, just absolute luxury. But if someone would like to make me an observation roll,
I got it.
you note that you might want to look at the mess hall and mother because you have a feeling that there might be some inconsistencies between her story and what you've seen so far. There's something that she's not telling you and that she doesn't want you to know.
And something in the private dining gave that away?
Yeah, something that you'll understand more once you've seen those other places, but you can tell that something is inconsistent. Like, this area was clearly used before, like, there was some haphazard attempt. She was very clearly the one who tried to, clean and kind of cover up some stuff in there. But you have a feeling that kind of juxtaposing it with the mess hall, which you imagine would be where the kind of servants and crew would eat, and then Mother will probably also have some information for you. That is, if you don't want to take her story at face value, though you might also learn more on the surface. It's up to you.
And just to confirm, there is not a professionally butchered human leg sitting on the table, right? Cooked to medium well.
No.
With parsley.
No, but there
Okay.
is evidence of some attempt at a meal, and this observation, it doesn't look like rations or like, the kind of the emergency like relief stores that would have been kept even on a ship like this. That would have been the kind of last things to go, even for someone royal. They would have gone through all of the luxury food first. But you note that what's here doesn't look like the most recent stuff to be eaten was rations.
Yep.
She ate the crew.
Looks like
Yeah,
somebody
that's-
was eating beef tartare.
Alright, let's keep moving. If you don't mind. Because I do apologize if I'm sucking up your more time.
Oh, no.
Anything in the kitchen?
Yeah, it looks like it was very hastily cleaned, with some dishes and cutlery still sitting in the sink.
You want to CBRN check some of the stuff for blood?
Actually, I really should be doing that, shouldn't I?
Yeah, so you
Well,
see, yeah, you see
Continue.
traces of biological matter on some of the knives and cutlery. Whether that
But
is
nothing that says it's like human or anything.
no,
At this point, it probably would have degraded beyond recognition.
yeah, you just can tell that it's animal, not plant, or at least mostly animal. There's like plant there, but it's like classical like kind of seasoning type like herbs. Nothing like not like a salad.
Yeah. Anything in bunks?
Yes. You note that there are signs on the, or not signs, but someone make me an observation roll. I'll give you a +1 or a +2.
I'll do it. I'll just go with the +1. Or do you want me to go with the +2 specifically?
Go
Because I seem to
either one. I mean, you've got a pretty high observation, so. Okay, roll me panic. Okay, you keep it together. But on the inside of the door, you notice really deep like gouge marks, like by almost like human fingers, like a whole host of them, like someone or someone's were or was desperately trying to get out of this room. The marks look very, very old, but they're still there. You can see little bits of like traces of blood where they were like digging their fingers, trying to desperately claw their way out, but the door must have been sealed really tight because there's no sign that they were able to actually get it open. The door opens now, but so you're not sure exactly what happened.
Starting to think some of these servants may not have been employees, but forced labor.
It really makes me wonder which one was named Turducken.
Yeah.
You find a silver little or a little set of dog tags that say Jeffrey Turducken.
That's good.
Okay.
Because we
Somehow
didn't
a
check,
rim
was there
shot
anything in the
plays
briefing
over
room?
the intercom.
In the briefing room, no, it's very empty. It seems like it hasn't been used in a while. Longer than any of the private areas. Any of, like,
That
the
works.
luxury suites. You imagine because the briefing room would have been used by, the help, the servants, or the crew. Seems like, yeah, and you know that one way or the other they turned on each other and kind of mutual annihilation before, and by that point,
Yeah.
the princess was the only one left.
Yes, according to Horror
say-
Story.
We check out the mess hall next.
That should be next in line, so yes. And we're not checking it, but what's a JCT?
Junction.
Junction, thank you.
Yeah, so you note that this area is much, like, it was used, but it seems like it stopped being used earlier than the private kitchen or the private dining. Here, the mess hall, it's, the kind of kitchen area. It's kind of like one of those, classic cafeterias compared to the private kitchen where it's like there might have been a personal chef, basically, that's separate from the dining. But, yeah, this area, it looks like, has been used less recently. Like, the private dining was, like, by a period of, like, probably two or 3 months. So, it seems that, at the very least, they did not run out of rations and starve, the crew. So,
Anything that would be valuable to CBRN?
you don't find anything.
That works. So you make our way through the meditation room.
This is a classic kind of, like very Japanese, like there's, bonsai and just kind of the sound of flowing water. Very clearly, it's royalty only. So,
Big old thing of sand in the middle, I assume.
yep.
All the sand is just powdered diamond.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be wreck your respiratory system.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah. You notice that there's a little respirator, but it's very clearly calibrated just for the princess. Like, nobody else would be able to use it.
Kind of funny there's a door from the mess hall into the meditation room.
I forgot to delete that. That's my fault.
No big deal.
Yeah. Just imagine
Oh.
that's not there, but whatever.
I do apologize. I thought that door was there.
Well,
That's why I said to go this way. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's a secret passage.
Yeah, it's
Secret passage, yes.
Yeah, you
Maintenance
managed
access.
to find it. Yeah, there was a weird, wall candelabra that there are no candelabras anywhere else on this ship. That you just
No,
huh.
it's the soda machine if you hit the right combination of buttons.
Yeah, you enter the Konami code.
Damn,
How
I
would
was
that
just trying to
work
get
when
a
your
Coke.
options are... Ah,
Okay.
Alright, and Mother. Unless
Yep.
y'all wanted to, check out the elevator or something.
So do you want to try and interface with Mother?
Sure. Comtech or necessary at all?
Yes. And if anybody wants to say that they looked through Matilda's personal quarters after she left, you might get a bonus, because this is going to be difficult without the access codes, because you would have to kind of bypass all of the kind of permissions.
Well,
We were kind of going through
I
the room
mean,
before he woke up.
Amos is going to start emptying out his pockets.
Okay.
Seeing
the
if
codes
there's
are probably
anything good in
inscribed.
there.
Yep, you find a note that says password 123 exclamation point.
Only 4 characters?
Yep.
Dagnabbit.
Okay, so yeah, you managed to you succeed. It shows that life support was actually cut off to the servant and crew quarters at the same time as were the hatches shut remotely from the outside. And this was a few months, 2.5 months before the luxury cryopod was activated.
Does it say what that was relative to launch?
It says that launch, it was about 2 months. 2 months before this remote. It appears that it was actually accessed through this console here. It was during the ship time's night, or the ship's nighttime, kind of artificial nighttime, that someone came in here and remote locked the door to the bunks and shut off life support specifically to that room.
And that was 2 months after launch.
2 months after launch, but 2.5 months before Matilda's cryopod was activated.
Okay, yep.
And her cryopod was activated just a few hours after a distress call was recorded to be sent out.
Oh, that's curious.
That ain't right.
Sounds like she was losing control, maybe.
Or
And
maybe she wasn't lying about the virus, and maybe some crew caught it, and somebody decided that the crew were expendable.
If that were actually the case, expendable and liability are a bit different. I hate to say that.
but there's one place that you remember. She mentioned the trying to cremate the crew and having put their remains, though they obviously didn't have kind of proper full cremation chambers, at least using the hottest fire she could make on the ship, and kind of trying to respectfully place the remaining kind of bones by the EEV pods for later disposal when the time was right, when she was rescued. If you guys wanted to check that out.
Yeah, we probably need to. Before we do that, let's hit those emergency stores. At this point, I'm collecting evidence. There's no way on Green Earth I'm going to be able to get a solid case against her for reporting her for anything, because she's royalty. She's going to get away scot-free, but I'm going to try my damnedest.
The stores are empty, but like completely empty. But it seems like there was definitely more than 2 months worth, but probably about 3 months worth. She shouldn't have survived this long, like as long as she did, based on what you saw of Mother. Just from this, especially with the whole crew. Though, if the kind of the store's consumption was reduced to one person, she might have made it, though she would probably be quite malnourished.
Did she look healthy when
Yes.
you got her out of cryo?
Yes, she did.
She could have just put herself in cryo 3 months earlier. None of this would have happened.
Yeah, that's quite possible. You going into the luxury spa? It's one of those. It's basically, you've got your kind of hot tubs. You've got like the hot mud baths, the face peels, the cucumbers, and everything. There's a bunch of there's like a single massage table with like the classic ambiance. But it very clearly has not been used in quite some time. The mud kind of has this almost like silty smell to it, as if the kind of filters haven't been operating in 75 years. But you imagine if you really wanted to, you could probably get this place back up and running.
The luxury spa or the ship?
He's specifically looking at the luxury spa. The ship is perfectly in working order. It's just been shut off for 75 years, so...
What a shame.
Yep, 75
Hey,
years,
why
so it's going to
don't,
take a while to start back up.
We could have had
Why
a
don't
nice
we
relaxing
send-
day.
Why don't we send this ship back to that colony we just established?
I
And
will
then we
allow
can get
it.
it up and running. It can be our nice little private spa.
I would allow it. Because this is where, for example, like the Class D science boats that your vessel has were. So, hypothetically, they could be detached, like kind of launched from the ship.
Yeah, I'd be
And
for
then
that.
keep it together and use it like as a house, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. You could, hypothetically.
I bet your kids would love living in a palace.
That'd be pretty cool. They even get this private theater.
Yeah, you notice that all it has is footage of bum fights on a loop.
Ah, excellent taste.
Footage of
Proper
what?
now?
Bum
Bum
fights. You know, like that.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And it says, now playing, the pores are at it again. There's only one seat in here, though.
Yeah, we're gonna have to add some more chairs in here.
Okay, I don't know why that's funny. Alright, I think we've been delaying it enough. On to the depressing stuff.
Alright, let's see the corpses.
Yeah, it's not so much corpses as disarticulated bones. They're very heavily charred. Like, it's very clear that there was an attempt to kind of quote-unquote cremate them. But if someone wants to make me an observation roll, I'm going to say -1 unless you can convince me that you're really good at looking at very, very small, kind of looking for very, very small details, like physically small.
Like at a distance?
No, like you
Or
can
just
pick them
at all?
up. I'll say, like you can pick them up. You might just need to, like, I'll give you a plus, or I'll give you, like, kind of a net 0 if you are kind of using, like, your fingers to kind of run over the surface, but it will give you +1 stress.
I
Well,
would
my
say
character-
that Cliff
Please continue.
might know a thing or two about at least analyzing animal bones.
Yeah,
I would
'cause-
request, can
That he
I...
could apply here.
There's a joke somewhere in here about finding small details and bones and running your fingers over it.
There is. There is. There very much is. But,
Listen to the skulls by the sea?
Oh, jeez.
I mean, this is kind of what I do for a living, just not with people, so. Yeah, go. Someone want to make me the observation roll? And then someone can also make me a medical aid roll to get more information.
And if I
Well, I
may,
guess
I
I
would
could
like
do
to
both
see
of
BRN
those.
kit.
Yeah, so.
Do I get a -1 to observation, or?
I'm gonna say you've got enough of specialization that I'll let you have it at a flat. Do you want to push that?
Yeah, I guess I better. Oh, do I need to add the stress first?
Yes.
It's odd that it doesn't do that for you.
Yeah, it's
Or it
supposed
does
to.
add it, but it
But it
doesn't
doesn't-
add it and then do the roll.
Yeah, that's odd. Okay, does anybody else
Well, I
want to
guess I
try?
don't.
Yeah, you don't notice anything. It seems, do you want to push it? Okay, you notice that, looking closely at some of the bones, there are what appear to be, like, kind of scrapes on them. Like, scrapes and kind of marks. If someone wants to make me a medical aid roll, I can give you more detail.
I had the best medical aid, so I could try rolling again.
You could. You note that these are consistent with human teeth. These marks on the bone, when Amos points them out to you.
Those came from human teeth.
So this
Perfect
bitch
size.
did know how to eat fried chicken.
Or
Apparently
to
Oh
Duckin.
shit! Oh shit! This might be turducken.
Or Jeffrey
Amos
to
is gonna drop
Oh.
it.
Okay. So,
This would be a really hard bite, though, not like biting into
yeah, it's not like
a
it's not like
chicken
they're.
bone. This is like defending yourself from attack kind of bite.
I mean, they look like very, very kind of delicate marks. It looks like these bones were cooked or boiled or something and then burned. So it's kind of like if, depending on how you eat, like, like buffalo wing or like, bone-in wings, like you can sometimes actually leave little, because like they're very, very superficial. That's why it was so hard for you to see. It's just
Gotcha. I
enough.
thought you meant like deep marks.
Oh, no. That's why they were so hard to see, because they were so shallow. But once Amos points them out to you, you're able like to see like, oh, those are like, the marks where those look like, from the cusp of a premolar, or, that sort of thing. So, yeah. Now you've got evidence from the ship. If you want to go down to the colony, you can.
We might want to radio back to our staff to watch out. So she's hungry.
Can we just radio to stick her in the brig?
Yeah. Who do you want to tell?
Who would trust us the most to say, hey, the princess of the... What's the name of this empire?
Three World Empire.
Of the Three World Empire is a cannibal, purposefully killed her own crew and then ate them.
Let's see. You guys have
built up kind of far-fetched.
You guys have built up a good relationship with Hamida, but she is a former Royal Marine, and the Royal Marines are Three World Empire. So, I'm gonna say...
That's what I was worried about.
Do we have an android on?
You have two. James and Miss Sophie. They're both working Joe models. Or, well, one is a working Joe, the other's a working Jane. But you think you've built up a pretty solid relationship with the ICC Inspector Tan, so he might be one. You could always tell him, like, she might have been exposed to plague, like, if you don't want to tell that whole story. You're like,
I mean, that seems like that getter in cryo.
Yeah, cryo. Or...
It would be... I don't know the actual symptoms of the disease, so I would be concerned as that would be less believable.
Well, we don't have to say what the illness is.
Just that she could be a carrier, or something.
Yeah.
And so
So she may have
your
been
recommendation would be to
exposed to
quarantine. Yeah.
I'd personally say be honest, but if y'all are wanting to go that route, then do it.
Okay. So, how do you guys want to do it? Because I will say, if you tell the true story, it's going to be a flat manipulation roll. It would be at a minus 2 if you told Hamida. It'll be flat if you tell Tan, and if Victor's involved, it'll be at a +2. And if Victor tells himself, it'll be automatic if he's telling him that quarantine.
Just invoke some kind of quarantine protocol.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay. So
I mean, at least then she's out of the way, and then...
Yeah, at least she's out of the way this time.
Out of the way, and won't be able to impede an investigation of what went on here.
Yep.
Okay. So...
Better ask forgiveness than for permission, in this case.
I mean, and also, she did mention that there was a virus, and, she could have been exposed. That's not lying.
That is true. So.
And I'm assuming I have some Ziploc evidence bags.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you don't, you can grab them from your ship.
Yep, I'm getting a few of those. I'm going to put the bones in them for evidence. I am going to copy down the mother logs data.
Okay.
Get photographs of the back of the crew and servants bunk door. And note down findings in private dining and mess hall.
Okay. So.
As well as emergency stores and extrapolated time periods of use compared to user health and so on based off of studies.
Okay. Yep, so, Yep,
We
you've
should
got
probably
that.
steal the hard drives from the flight computers.
We'd also need to do that. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
About half tempted to say we just need to put some firecrackers on the drives themselves.
Yep, so. If you want, you can also use the ship's sensors to check for life signatures on the surface of the planet below. Before
Over here?
you head down. You can do it on either ship, yours or this one, because by now the ship's really started to warm up and kind of the core systems are kind of working again.
Was there anything along the left side that would be of value to check out? We didn't check high value storage.
Yeah, that's going to be basically valuables like jewelry, gems, etc. And if someone wants to make me a roll of 3, or actually, I'm going to say a D66.
Thank you.
Okay. So, you estimate that if you were to sell directly somehow, all of the jewelry and the high value storage alone, it would probably be worth 61,000. So that would be a lot of rock to move.
Yeah, that
Might be slightly suspicious.
That would be massively suspicious.
I don't know. If we found a good aura deposit, in huge air quotes, and just so happened to find all these nice shiny rocks in said aura deposit, I would question it.
They just happened to come cut and polished.
They just happen to be like that. Maybe the environment on whatever planet we dug them up just happens to make them all nice and pretty.
Okay. Well, that's up to you guys. You wouldn't... I mean, it is a full room's worth, so you wouldn't be able to carry them all with you at this time. But if you want to come back and get them, you can.
So are there any high-quality cigars?
Yes, there are space Cubans. Cigars, I mean.
Are they space Cubans because they're in space, or are they from space Cuba?
No. Even better. They're Zubin cigars.
Oh, yes. Yes, they're Zubin cigars. Zubin cigars from space Zuba, which is just space Cuba. It got renamed in 2130. Or actually, no, in 2084.
That's where all the crew is from, too.
Yep.
Yeah, well, Cliff is gonna take a box of Zubin cigars.
Okay. Yeah, you'd estimate those are probably worth 5,000 since they're vintage.
Oh, he's gonna smoke them. He's not gonna sell them.
Oh, I know. I'm just telling you. And everybody else is probably aware of that as well. If they see them, you estimate they're very valuable. So does anybody want to look at the sensors?
Cliff is up there already, so...
Life signatures? Human life signatures are faintly visible on the planet. Though you note that if the planet had the same reported population as it did from the initial kind of report, which was 100, reported in 2071 to be 230,000, the signature would be a lot stronger. This signature is quite faint. So, clearly, she did tell the truth in that something disastrous happened. Though you're not seeing any signs of... Yeah, there's still human life, specifically.
somebody's down there, but they got decimated for sure.
Yeah. So, do you want to take a ship to the kind of planet side?
That's up to the commander.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to, but let's have suits on just in case.
Okay. This is a map.
Yeah, so we might have to wrap up for tonight once we land, because it's
Yeah, it's getting
starting
late.
to be late. Where were the life signatures anyway?
Right here at where October Outpost is marked. Yeah, so...
Very hard to read the font on there for some reason.
Oh, yeah. So, kind of right where I'm pinging.
Yeah, I see it now.
So, if you guys want to land there real quick, I have a perfect place where I can end it. It'll just be another minute or two if you...
Yep,
Are you
let's
gonna,
go.
you gonna land?
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
let's do a flyover first, probably.
Yeah, so you see the
Good.
ruins of... Or kind of the... Yeah, like the abandoned ruins of a much larger colony, but you still see that there is signs of life and active human life at that around this kind of bay. A lot of the kind of original colony, the larger structure, because, you know, there were at least 100,000 people there, has been kind of left to kind of decay, so to speak. But there's still, at the core of it, kind of ramshackle, think almost like Fallout, like, you know, settlement, but not quite so post-apocalyptic, just like, you know, kind of areas where they've kind of been maintaining, or at least had maintained for a while. If you guys want to descend, you guys can land. Just...
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Let's set her down.
How to lay her down. So, you guys land at the landing strips.
This map is abnormally large and abnormally detailed.
Oh, yeah. So, as you guys land, you
Jesus,
find
that
yourself... you guys find yourself surrounded by... a group of soldiers, 10 soldiers specifically. They all have storm rifles, and they are aiming them at you. Several of them have CBRN detection kits, and they say, "Unexpected visitors? You will be scanned for detection of any contaminants. Comply or be eliminated." By orders of the warlord herself. Are you guys going to comply?
I mean, I guess we better.
Yeah.
We're
I don't
wearing
like getting
suits
shot.
anyway.
Yeah, we
Okay.
got suits. We're clean.
So, yep, they wipe over and they say, "No signs of plague strains. No signs of other contaminants. Come with us. We will take you. The warlord wants to see you. We have not had visitors in a while, and seeing as you've clearly had dealings with her," they say, looking up, "she will most certainly want to speak with you." And so they escort you further into the city. You see that they've made a reasonable kind of living for themselves out of this, the kind of ruins of this, like, bigger city. They're all kind of not happy per se, but, like, they're all making a living. Like, the there's a lot of evidence of like kind of floating algae farms and you know, a nice wharf for fishing. And they take you to this area right here. And you find it's kind of a makeshift throne almost. And there, you see... Damn it, that's the wrong... Let me grab the actual...
I don't know how to resize my thing, so...
Oh, don't worry about it. I'll deal with it later. But you guys see a dark-skinned woman sitting on the throne. She's wearing kind of a makeshift set of armor scrapped together from clearly old like Wayland armor, kind of multiple different sets kind of cobbled together. And the men say, Warlord Torres, we have brought the visitors. And they're clear of the plague? Yes, ma'am. Then leave us for now. We are, I have business to conduct with these visitors. And that is where we will end it for tonight.
Very interesting.
This one was, the hardest part was getting this map together. Admittedly, I basically just took one of the maps from another part of the campaign, and just re-labeled it entirely. So, don't be surprised if you see this exact layout again, but...
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, it's standard colony issue.
Exactly.
If it makes you feel any better, they probably ripped this straight off of a city GIS.
Oh, it would not surprise me, but you know what?
Because,
if it works, it works.
Yeah, it works. I'm really curious as to where this actually is, though, because this is too detailed to be made from scratch. No tabletop game company is going to spend this much on this type of road map.
Yeah, especially when, like, there's no kind of... You're never really gonna be using all of that road.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So...
Anywho, you were saying.
Yeah. Cliff, are you satisfied with where things have gotten to this point?
Yeah, I'm really interested to, learn more about this now.
Yep. To learn more about, Warlord Torres.
Like a child of a great-great-grandparent.
Yeah.
That I've never met. Well, more like, I don't know what she would even be related to me, probably nothing.
Probably cousin. Yeah,
let's go
distant
bowling.
cousin.
Let's
Like
just walk and be like, what's up, my sister?
Be like, Dylan, you son of a bitch. So,
I just love the tribe name.
Yep, the Sugandis. This was a very fun one to write. It was one of those things where it's like, I rolled randomly on a table, got a bunch of results, and then all of a sudden the story just kind of clicked. So...
I like it. It's going to be interesting, because they clearly don't care much for the princess we just had dealings with.
Yeah.
I can't blame them.
I can't imagine why.
If her style of rule was anyway similar to her style of captaining, then yes, there is no question there.
I have a theory about what happened up there on that ship, but I'll wait to see what happens.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff that's going on, and Yeah, I'm glad this one there was enough deep information or kind of enough intrigue to last an entire session, because it meant that I didn't have to deal with spending 2 days trying to prepare for one of the book missions that I would be very woefully unprepared for.
I'm wondering if we need to win some favor with these people. There are lots of jewels floating in space right now that we can just go grab.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's a show of our good faith.
Here's this massive amount of jewels.
They probably came from the planet in the first place, so might as well return them.
Yeah. And all things considered, that's probably a justifiable use of them is for, since we would be dealing on negotiations and within her, what's the term?
Sphere of influence? Or...
Yes, that is actually probably very close. Jurisdiction, that's actually closer to
yeah,
what
there
I was
you
looking
go.
for.
Yeah, that's...
So,
Like, hey Amos, drop your pants. I'm sure you still got a gym up your ass somewhere.
Well, I'm glad that you guys had fun, and I am trying to make sure that each of your characters has an opportunity to kind of have some just like a, kind of a mission that is kind of theirs, so to speak.
well, that is cool. I'll be looking forward to this one.
Yep, and luckily, Victor, your kind of arc is really tying in very well with some of the kind of side plots that are already going on in the book. So it's been I've kind of been wrapping that up. If you've probably seen some of that those opportunities for development as they've come along. So
yeah.
And Marty, I had some of that prep for you. Now,
and that little surprise colony thing kind of worked out.
Yeah, exactly. And there's going to be a lot more where that came from. And who knows, if we decide to continue this campaign, like after kind of the main storybook missions, you guys can always just start up on that colony. But yeah, that's all for tonight. And I'm glad that it worked out.
Cool.
Yep. And I will see you all next week.
Yep.
All right. See y'all later.
Sounds good. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.